following podcast depicts open and honest opinions about what makes Master of the Universe such an ass kicker. If you or someone you know has a sandy vagina about such things and opinions that don't agree with theirs, parental discretion is advised. Welcome to a brand new edition of Fans of Power Podcast, where we just piss off everybody. That is what we do on this podcast. And if you don't appreciate that, then the rest of you can bugger off, as the English might say there.
As James
I'm Tyler Baker, and with me as always is the trap jaw to my Skeletor, the rotten Amato, Joe Amato, and the Wade Garrett to my Dalton, Nasty Nate Kennedy. Gentlemen, are we ready to have an ass kicker of a night?
I believe so. I'm celebrating because I got this in the mail yesterday. Go buy the shirt. It's on Joe's TeePublic. If you want to have man, it's called Man Days. You get Man at Arms. He's just like, nah, he can't go on. It's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Joe, for doing that.
No problem. I was laughing my ass off redrawing that because when we did that episode talking about the magazine, and I said that image always annoyed the hell out of me in that Master Universe magazine for that story. It just looks so goofy. You're like, oh, that's it. We got to have that on the shirt. Got to have that on the shirt. I was like, am I really redrawing this? So I did. I redrew the whole thing.
You see something in a magazine and upload within 24 hours. I'm begging you to upload things you've already got in hand, and you're like, oh, well, you know what? I think I'm looking at my own butt. I'll get around to it, Tyler.
Well, there was one thing I've been wanting to do, but I got to wait a couple more weeks to do that one for Tyler. But I'll get something up. I'll redraw it.
Something. Give me balls up. I don't care. Just give me something I could put on a new tank top or a T-shirt or something. You know, I gotta have something new, man. I'm getting this urge to want to buy something He-Man, and like there's nothing to buy at the moment.
Well, I'll figure.
New images on apparel, and that is all I got.
Well, I will get something up. But that was a shocker, and it just seemed like a Nathan thing. Not that I'm picking on Nathan, but I know Nathan loves some of the weirdest, goofiest things that just make people say, "What the hell is that on the shirt for? What's that?" So I see what you mean.
I'm just gonna show it off again. I'm just gonna get kind of close.
I can't even see it.
But yeah, I mean, Tyler.
Oh shit, Tyler.
Tyler and Joe, like they can't. Well, Tyler's not like.
Well, I can see it on.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to just go to TeePublic real quick and see if I can't find it.
Oh, look at that.
When you look at it, I love it. I love that. That's so silly and.
It's just. I don't know. It is a very me kind of thing.
Oh God, oh man. So yeah, while you look that up, Tyler, I'm gonna say hello to everybody, and also a happy birthday to Fedmon.
Happy birthday.
It's his. Yeah, so there you go, man. But let me get to the people here in the chat room. Jaime Mares, JSP, Zentron, Zen Brown, Gavin the Nerd, Adam Gabbard, Darth Baca, Aaron Anderson's here, Grimbot's here. Did I miss? Oh, Daniel Carhoonan, who's always supporting us. Appreciate that. Jason Havlick, Curtis Ackerman. And Kyle Kendall just popped up, so I got everybody, so thank you. And I just noticed the Popeye's chicken you put in my icon down there, and I love it, so I appreciate
Popeye,
that.
Popeye isn't spam.
Tyler?
I don't know, I don't, because TeePublic's so weird. Like, I even tried to put in, like, your name on TeePublic, nothing comes up. I tried to put in, like, one of your nothing's working.
Hang on. I'll look it up.
Well, they're funny about this. You can put in the exact name of the print that you saw, and want to look back up, like, oh, I don't know what that is. Here's an image of a shitty pixelated, Ninja Turtle or some shit,
That is bizarre, though. It wouldn't come up just from a search. But trust me, the second Nathan sends you this link and you look, I'm just going to be looking at the screen to see your face. Because I guess I
could go to okay. I should have just went to the YouTube channel.
I'm waiting for his eyes to roll because I know when he sees it, like, oh, God, you put that crap on a shirt.
Well, I looked up everything yesterday. I was just like, there's nothing here for me. Like, Joe clearly doesn't like me. There's
no, I'm going to be getting. I will get something up. Oh, and Papa Hood 69. Sorry, I missed
that Joe, did a while back for me.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll definitely take care of you. But yeah, Papa Hood 69. Now, and I'll say something real quick if I can while you guys.
Go. All right, I'm bringing it up right now.
Here comes his reaction. He's going to roll his eyes and go. Ah. Here it comes.
Yeah, I saw that. What the hell is this shit?
Oh, it's great.
I mean, look at it. We got, Fred Flintstone as He-Man. Joe knows I hate that kind of combining stuff. You got Animal as Beast Man. We got, like, why do you do this to me, Joe? Dunkin' Donuts as in, I'm like, oh, God. and his infamous Simpsons and He-Man. Like, Joe, why do you do this to me? Like,
I'm just so creative. I love driving you nuts, and I love making other people happy. And looking back at me right there,
and
I
yet,
got pig
you know,
here.
why couldn't you just have this image of Clawful with just Clawful, and not like Get a Grip? See, you're no worse than, you know, those puppies are sick or all that stuff. Why can't it just be Clawful on the shirt?
That originally was for somebody too.
I
don't
care who it was for. You shouldn't want to
like, that's terrible. I don't care, man.
I
can do it without.
Tyler sounds like Anakin in the Star Wars prequels right now.
Yeah, I hate them.
I could do it both. One with the phrase, one without. But that was a cool one to redraw too, and do a different slight pose too.
I like the one there, but I definitely don't want to go all whiny Anakin.
All right, I appreciate it. But,
damn it, I got a lot of rage, man, just like Anakin Skywalker did too, over things he can't control.
I was going to say, I can't think of anything as for new news recently. I know that PowerCon, I think Valve said that they're going to hopefully try, if they can, for next year in September to possibly do PowerCon if everything goes right, so that would be pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think they announced the winners for when they held the other PowerCon, and when people were viewing, those people that could win sets for, I think, the figures that they had as the exclusive, the Lords of Power, I believe. But I don't know if there was anything else news-wise about PowerCon. I'll be honest, it was quick when I seen it, so if there's something that was said, I apologize if I missed that. And nothing else topical. A lot of people have been getting their Snake Mountains. God, post them all in the groups, and it's so massive, looks great, but man, that's a big sucker. So I've been seeing a lot of that. Now, Zen Brown's saying something about a PowerCon toy line. Zen Brown, you're going to have to, if you could say something in the comments there, be specific, or ask Grimbot. I didn't hear about a PowerCon toy line. That's new to me. If there was something said, I completely missed it. But Kyle Kendall, yes. I will say the Wonder Bread thing. And this was interesting. It was great what Scott Knightlick put up, because, we've had this rumor of Wonder Bread for years, and people have always said, where did it come from? And I've always said it's definitely not Wonder Bread, because the timeline didn't match up. And you guys can go back and listen to all our episodes. And when I did that with Tyler, when I rambled about it, I was like, it can't be at that time when they had the trading cards with Hordak and all of them. It doesn't line up. It'd have to be earlier. And we remember there was the buy 3, get 1 free promotion, to where there was like this little form that you'd get at the toy aisle that had a little punch hole. And you'd send that in and get something. I said I got Beastman. But the rumor of this whole thing started from that image. It had a buy 3, get 1 free coupon packed in a sealed baggie with a naked He-Man, different color, of course, with the hair and trunks, and some weapons. But I said, what sense would that make for them to, you send off the form, they send it back and put the form in that baggie? It didn't line up. But from what Scott did, and Scott thought the same thing as me, he said it didn't make sense. That was the promotion from the buy 3, get 1 free, because he found an internal letter from Mattel to where a woman wrote in and talked about her son being very disappointed at getting a He-Man with no armor, no weapons, and a different color, wondering, what is this thing? And Mattel explained, it was like maybe just a special, like exclusive figure. But after they seen how she was disappointed, they figured people probably wouldn't want this, so then they started sending out other stuff. Because like I said, I got a card at Beastman, but from the internal letter, it lined up and made perfect sense that it was from the buy 3, get 1 free promotion. Her letter, what she described as it, of being a He-Man with no armor, no weapons, different color. So pretty much, if you guys can go and you can check it, Spectre Creative on YouTube. He has a couple videos of it. It pretty much, I think, now can put it to rest. Never Wonder, just like every one of us always said, never Wonder Bread, but a promotion just through Mattel. And they had other toy lines where it was part of that too. So I just wanted to thank him. It was great he showed that letter, because he showed the proof. He went through it all, and I think hopefully that can at least lay to rest the mystery of Wonder Bread He-Man. It was something actually cool to see, because I've been tired of hearing that rumor for years of where it comes from and people thinking stuff but not remembering it. Because as you know, nobody's ever said, I remember getting it from Wonder Bread. Nobody ever said that. It was always at a garage sale, eBay, flea market, or friends. So now you know why. And it's some cool videos, so check it out. Spectre Creative on YouTube. He has 2 videos on it, and it's pretty cool for those who've been wanting it. So thanks for bringing that up, Kyle. I was going to mention it, but you said it, so thanks, and that was cool.
Yeah, it's interesting how there's certain things that come along like that in toy lines, just these myths and urban legends about the video games too. So many different stories but prior to the internet, it's basically just hearsay. Like kids at school, it's like, hey, did you know if you did this in Tomb Raider, you can see Lara Croft naked and shit like that? And it's just, it's funny how people do that. But that is really cool because I saw Jeremy DeWitt had posted about it to see the actual letter and all that stuff and reading it, and I'm like, well, this is a neat piece of history right here. Yeah, kind of opens it up a little bit, explains a little bit more. I know in the comments people are like, because I think Jeremy lives close to this lady or something, and I think Val popped in there and said that he's already been in contact with her before, and other people should probably just kind of like not bother her about it. It's kind of funny how.
Did you lose Nathan for a second?
No, I'm still here.
No, I hear him.
Joe, you there?
Uh-oh, that's Joe. That's me. Oh, crap. I'm experiencing bad stuff.
Can he hear you?
Joe, can you hear me?
All right. I think I might be back. Can you guys hear me?
We've been able to hear you the whole time.
We never lost you.
Oh, God. Sorry about that. I didn't hear a thing. I'm sorry, God. Everything went out, and I looked at the screen and it said, poor internet connection. Like, no shit. What else is new?
No, everything. Everything was, like, perfectly fine on our end. It's hilarious, though, because you're just, like, playing with the back of your head. Like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's just like his nervous tick. He's just sitting there rubbing like his hood, like like when he gets nervous or something like that. You know?
Well, I want to say, you know what's funny? Hold on, I got to say something. JSP just said what I wanted to say before my internet went bad, and you guys were talking about all these crazy urban legends, and I was going to say, yeah, I always remember everybody saying, like, the Ultimate Warrior died. That's not the real Ultimate Warrior, and he brought that up. Yeah, that was, God, did I hate that, hearing that in school and past school. It was like, that's not the real Ultimate Warrior, and he had a twin, and there was two of them, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
He got off the juice and he cut his hair a little bit. That's all that was.
Shit upon. Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
You guys. There we go. I'm done. I gotta
Joe's
stop.
Just having a rough time.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll let you guys go.
We're just like, Joe, everything's fine, and Joe's just,
I'm like, I'm having a nervous.
Start slaughtering chickens on his end. He's just so mad. He's having things and killing
You
it.
think I'm having a nervous breakdown? It's like, what in the hell is going on? My connection's going bad. I'm dropping shit. One of you have got to go into a discussion.
Well, ignore. Whatever you're saying, ignore, because we can hear you. So you're disrupting the flow, but you're like, oh my God. It's like, your head's going to
It's like when we were playing Battlefront, and we'd always talk,
Wait, what?
Remember, like, the noise that they would make in Star Wars?
Wait, no, I don't remember that sound effect.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, we can segue to the next thing. Since
let's go into the magic stealer.
Whatever.
Go into the magic
Hang on,
stealer.
God damn it, Joe. You wait a second. I wanted to say that all I can smell right now is Perfuma, because I picked her up along with Goatman here, which I'll go ahead and show him off because I haven't put him on the shelf yet. But I'm starting to just I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'll just start getting the She-Ra Classics figures too. Why not? Because originally I was gonna only have a few of them and be done with it, but now I'm like, I think I'll just try to get as many as I can.
Yeah, because me and Nathan talk on and off throughout the week all the time about his pickups and who he's like, I'll skip that person. And if anybody out there, I'm gonna say it because we always talk about we need to bring on the podcast and we never do. If there's anybody out there who knows someone or where to get a decently priced Cobra Khan, Mantana, Fisto, I'm trying to think some of the others he threw at me. Scareglow, of course.
Sorceress.
And Sorceress, I started to say that too. Those are some of the heavy hitters that Nathan's brought up on a regular basis that he really wants to get. I mean, I really want to make sure he gets a Cobra Khan. That's a must. Well, hell, all of them are must. They're must-have. So if there's anybody out there listening to this at some point, someone or where you can get a black market one, someone who's not asking $500 for. Well, I took off his fist and he's missing all his armor and he's got a skid mark on his back, but it's $200.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to, take care of Nathan and give him a fair price. Nathan's not a cheap person, but he's also not an idiot.
Yeah.
So, anybody out there who's got options, put comments in the podcast, on the comments below, or send Nathan something privately and let him know you can fix him up. You know,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking that he has come so far so fast in picking up a vintage collection and classics, and these certain important characters have eluded him because those Nazis on eBay called scalpers still to this day are all about trying to make sure you sign over a full car payment, you know,
Yeah.
to buy
Yeah.
Cobra Khan loose without his gun.
Yeah, dude, like, all of those that we just mentioned, just loose, easily over $100. Cobra Khan's going for about $150. The carded ones are around that. Some of them, I look them up, I'm like, why are you this much? I hate it. So my limit on them has pretty much been $75 and under. I typically don't spend more than that unless it's like a bigger sized, like a Shadow Beast or something. But even Shadow Beast, it hovers around that range after. It depends, because people are stupid with shipping. Some are like free shipping. Some are like $25 shipping. I'm like, why? Whatever. But yeah, it's just those few that are eluding me that would make it pretty much complete, because Cobra Khan is the last main character I need for the Snake Men for classics anyway.
Oh, he's not a Snake Man now. You can't have that now. He is an evil warrior. I do not give a shit about the NYP canon, dude. He is an evil. If I come over to your house and find out he's with the Snake
I'm
Man,
gonna put him. You know what? I'm gonna put him with the Snake Man just to piss you off. So that's what I'll do.
Yeah, well, you guys can just eat my ass.
Well, and we can go back. We'll bring that up again once we get into the character spotlight for the episode, because there's a lot of flip-flopping and how you can interpret, well, NYP did this, and they weren't in Filmation, but just because here's the vintage figure, and this is what this does, and blah, blah, blah. So we'll get into that when we talk about King Hiss. But Joe, you wanted to go ahead and do the mini-comic first, right?
Yeah, I've been going to that, and I just realized every time I look at the comment section that I see myself on the screen, it looks like I'm looking at that Popeye's chicken.
Here you go, Tyler. Grim 2. Correction, Tyler. Khan was retconned as a Snake Man way back in the 80s.
Wait, what?
If Grim 2 says it, you know it's true.
What, retcon is a Snake Man, like...
I don't know if he's referencing the Top Toys thing where they actually had it, but I don't know. I mean, maybe there was something in one of the stories, but I know Top Toys did actually make him a Snake Man, which is cool.
I don't see him as a Snake Man, is what I'm saying. Like, to me, he's always evil because of, like, the storyline in King of the Snake Man, where Skeletor says, you know, join them, be my spy within the clan. And, you know, you see him depicted on the back of the mini comic and the card backs is, like, you know, Cobra Khan, Evil Master of Snakes, along with the rest of the Snake Men. So it's like they're following.
No, I know what you mean. His origin, his original, was just an evil warrior. But then as time went by, yeah, they kind of, like you said, made him retcon this to being a Snake Man, originally a Snake Man.
I think it just makes more sense that way, to me.
No, I don't like that at all. Like there's some stuff I'm like, okay, I'll buy that. But I just feel like to immediately, just because he's a Snake Man, like, you know, like he was his own entity, and then the Snake Man come along, you know, 2 years later. That's why I kind of feel like he is above and beyond. Like, oh well, we got to make all Snake Men like they're all part of the same group. I just never bought that. Like, you know, if you go that with M1P, that's fine. I like seeing him as a member of the Evil Warriors team up with Webster and stuff like that. I just feel like I like him so much better. I mean, but if people...
That's anybody's preference, yeah. Like you said, their preference. I even like how he forgot his...
preferences. Like, I go by strictly, like, you know, what was set up in the vintage canon, and there's some stuff I'll adapt from NYP. But Cobra Khan, to me, will always be an evil warrior who joins the Snake Men as a spy for Skeletor. Like, if we were like, thinking of, like, you know, a cohesive canon, and we're telling, like, a big story, like in comic books or something like that, and you bring the Snake Men in, it is set up that Skeletor has got Cobra Khan as his spy, and like Cobra Khan will do whatever it takes to make it look like he is a legit Snake Man. But when it comes down to it, you know, he'll do something to betray King Hiss that gives Skeletor the upper hand, and then, you know, Skeletor would...
I found it intriguing how he even forgot his own language when they were reading the ancient language, but of course Skeletor could read it, but a Cobra Khan couldn't even read.
That's why I just kind of feel like, you know, that's something that's like, just because he is a Snake Man doesn't mean he's part of the ancient clan of Snake Men led by King Hiss. Like, I just kind of feel like that's like saying every that Jitsu and Ninja are related because, well, they're both Asian, even though one is from another dimension. Like, no, that's bullshit. Like, I just kind of feel like it's a little too, what's the word? Like, trying to make everyone so damn connected. Like, that's why I don't like the idea of making Cobra Khan a snake man from the very beginning. Like, someone who, I just feel like that's why does everything got to be connected like that? I just,
That makes sense.
Plus, Cobra Khan's such an
That makes sense.
that is my perspective. So I know Grandbot, who created He-Man and everything, he created Thundercats and Turtles and Transformers and everything that I love and near and dear to my. By the way, thanks again for that wonderful meme you put together for me today, bud. I really appreciate you doing that for me. But that's just my thought, and I know we got off on a tangent. I mean,
no, that's perfectly fine. I'm kind of glad that we did that because if other people out there listening, if other people out there listening were kind of thinking or had the same mentality I had, like to hear you guys kind of give your perspective and what you think about it, and you can maybe sway an opinion, and then just be like, you know what, it's going on the shelf with the Snake Man.
Well, and I understand people's perspective on it. Like, I'm not someone that's going to sit there and say, you're wrong. I'm just really passionate about because not just because that's what I grew up on. Like, I can clearly tell you, I'm not afraid to tell you that some stuff is based on nostalgia and other things are just based on it just makes more sense this way. And Cobra Khan, as a member of Skeletor's crew, is one of his most intelligent warriors. That's what I'd like to see. I just think there's so much more to that character, and just to. Here's another thing that, to throw in, and this may have just been, I don't know how this, but Joe, you know what I'm talking about. In the Powers of Grayskull Legend Begins mini-comic, we clearly see Cobra Khan sitting at the campfire with Squeeze and King Hiss and Rattler. And when I saw that as a kid, I thought, what's Cobra Khan doing there? Because but this is in the past. So I guess you could say, based on that, even though it's strictly a coincidence, I'm sure Larry didn't intend to do that. It's just at that time, throw as many Snake Men in his pan as you can or something like that. I don't know if he can even tell us. But if you want to base it on that, then you could say that Cobra Khan is a descendant of the Snake Men. Like his ancestors were part of King Hiss's clan. But by that point, he has nothing to do with the Snake Men. Like he is his own person. That's like saying, Well,
heck, just like the Horde. Remember when Tongue Lasher and Rattler, they left to go to Etheria because they had nobody else. There was no more Snake Men. They were all gone. They were just put into the timeless void. So, yeah, they went to serve the Horde. Because remember in the mini-comic then when they were brought out, they were like, well, what happened? These to serve the Horde, because they thought they would be coming from that timeless dimension or whatever where King is and all the other Snake Men. Yeah, it's interesting, but I'll tell you what, one quick thing before we do get in the main topic. Zen Brown did give a link to some information, and I speak 100 miles an hour, and I will try to read this, but it's interesting. I didn't know, and I wanted to thank you for this, Zen Brown. This was on their site. It said, PowerCon's own toy line. This is an announcement that may surprise some of you, but it will make a lot of sense to many fans. PowerCon is fan-built. While it has a focus on love for He-Man and She-Ra, PowerCon has always supported indie projects from within our own community. Outstanding fan comics and toy lines have been featured at PowerCon over the years, and many have been very successful. In order to remain fan-focused for years to come, PowerCon needs its own toy line that embodies our fandom. It won't be a He-Man and She-Ra toy line because we have Mattel to make those awesome toys. Instead, this will be a unique line for the fans of He-Man, She-Ra, and other related types of toy lines. A big aspect of this line is that it will be created in part from fan feedback. From the genre to the level of articulation to the packaging to the style, every bit of this line will be created using fan influence. Your feedback from polls is what will shape this line from start to finish. And for the polling, we will use data from the fans who support PowerCon. One thing we learned from He-Man.org polls in the past is fans who make a purchase are the ones who want to influence how that money is spent. So when shaping the initial look of this line, we will be polling all the fans who have supported PowerCon in 2019 and 2020 with ticket and exclusive purchases directly from PowerCon. Another factor where we will aim to make this PowerCon indie line more fan-oriented is the price. While making money is great, we also don't want to price anyone out of supporting this line. Therefore, we'll be experimenting with what we will call sliding scale funding. What this means is we will distribute all costs across a variable quantity of figures. Starting out, this will be just 1 or 2 figures, but we hope it will be a big success and grow well beyond that. Because the sliding scale works by telling you how many are made for the pre-order price, it also means you know the rarity of what you are pre-ordering. But most importantly, the more units that are pre-ordered means a more affordable toy line for all. Another aspect this line will incorporate is our community talent. While we already have a lot of amazing talented interested in working on this concept, we also want fan involvement. So if your dream is to help create toys, this could be a chance to show the world what you are capable of. And finally, fans know what fans want, and it only makes sense to use fan input from start to finish. This is a line of action figures that will be for our fan base, and it represents a big part of what PowerCon is about. We'll have more about this in the near future. For now, we'd like to hear your early impressions of the line and start getting feedback that can contribute to the initial polling. And that was it. So I knew nothing about that until Zen Brown just did that. I want to thank you about it. What are your thoughts on that, Tyler? What do you get out of that from when you hear it? Because for me, I was reading it too fast. These holes in my eyes were making me skip things, so that's why I stuttered at times.
I didn't think you were reading it that fast at all. I think you were.
No,
I thought you were going at a nice, leisurely pace. Everyone could absorb and understand it.
Okay, all right. Well, what did you get out of it, Tyler?
I don't know. It's I guess a fan-funded toy line that's sold exclusively to PowerCon that's not He-Man or She-Ra related. So we're talking like an action figure fantasy line. What it kind of looks like a kind of a knockoff brand kind of thing. Or we're talking like vintage scale. We're talking classic scale. We're talking something that would fit on the shelf with the vintage figures nicely. Like, it's something that was like I kind of like how Black Star is. Even though Black Star, just where you feel like,
or even like a vibe of like Mythic Legions, even something like that, to where it could be a whole new fantasy line. Or
look at that, and we clearly say, okay, that would look great on the shelf with the Evil Warriors or the Horde or something like that. Which I assume at PowerCon is going to be something like that. I can't imagine it being like an outer space toy line or something like that. So yeah, I'd say as long as it's something that people could buy and could put alongside, and because if this is something that's a one-time only thing, I like to think that it would be something that if you bought, it could go on the shelf with something that you've already got. Even if you wanted it with your Origins line or something like that, something that people are currently have in their possession, some form or another. So, but I'm intrigued by it, but if it's just pretty much limited based on if you're going to PowerCon or not, it's gonna be hard for some people to get in on that or even contribute. Like unless they're like people who buy the exclusives and aren't going to PowerCon can contribute that way. Which I haven't bought any exclusive because they've just been so expensive. If it wasn't for Val with it, it's kind of hooking us up with some of them, I wouldn't have been able to get any of them. But
I would hope that anything beyond, like you said, for those who can't go to PowerCon, I'd hope they could open it up in a way for people like us to maybe still order. I know that those exclusives usually are mainly for the people to attend, and I can understand that, but maybe there's a way they could still get us involved, or somehow with people go there and then they could pick it up for us, or I don't know. I know they've done stuff like that before.
We have no idea what our society is going to be like in another year from now. We have no clue. We can't predict. I like to think by the time beach season rolls around, things will be looking a little bit more up and up, but we have no idea at this point. So, but like they've done before, people who were not going to PowerCon wanted to buy like the exclusives, like the CamoCon stuff like that, making it accessible. You have to pay a little bit more. Or just like the whole sliding scale thing. I kind of feel like, if you're not going, then we offer these contributions for you to contribute to funding it and ensuring that you get one or both figures or something like that. So hopefully it's like a hero and a villain, whatever it might be, But
maybe we can work with the line and get fans of Power figures out there that people want to buy them.
See, those could be exclusives.
They get an action figure of me and put it in a blender. For all these people I've pissed off, they can throw me in a blender full of piss. And I hate that tiny damn pile. All he does is shit on everything. It's new, man. I hate him, Joe.
Oh, it's even better.
Friendly.
Well, think of that. What's even better is I could do stuff for like Tyler that drives him nuts. I could do all my crossovers. We could do Fred Flintstone as He-Man and not call it that and get away with it. Yo, here we go. We got it. Damn it, Nathan. We got this shit going. It's all crossover crap. No legal stuff involved. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. Done.
And that on a high note, huh, Tyler? All right. Well, hey,
God,
let's move Magic Stealer.
Shit like this makes my blood boil.
It's
like when I see the assholes who's selling like T-shirts with like anything with man in their last name, like Morgan Freeman or Louis Scoo's man or Pee Wee.
Oh man,
wait,
there we go.
You
just gave Joe plenty of new shirt ideas.
Well, the thing is, Tyler,
those are already available to buy. I'm saying shit like that irritates me. Now someone else
Tyler,
already beat Joe to the punch.
You might not want to look at Facebook this coming week because you talk about things with man in the title. I have Venkman coming. It's Peter Venkman as a He-Man figure. It's a Ghostbusters He-Man crossover.
Like, where do you come up with this shit? Why do you think
right up here? Right here. People know it's going to be a figure. It's going to be awesome. They love this shit. I had, like I said, Daffy Duck or I had He-Bugs. Let's keep bringing that shit. All right, Nathan, you want to go into the Magic Stealer?
Yeah,
God, man.
we can.
You're part of the problem, Joe.
I'm the solution.
Everyone's just suckling at Joe's teat, over all this. So, can I have a bitty? Can I have some more bitty, Joe?
Oh yeah, I gotta keep bringing that up.
For you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
All right.
No, wait. Before we do, the funny thing was everyone in the chat was expecting Tyler to blow up just about that announcement and how everything was settled, but he was fine with it until Joe and I started, we could do this instead. And he's like, no, damn it. Not.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, you ruined it.
Here we go.
You ruined it, damn it.
Let's go into the...
I know, you're not going to inject my, you're not going to, inject poison into my creation here.
God, I hate, you know what?
No.
I hated that promo. The way when he spun around in the chair and he's like, oh God. All right. Anyway, Magic Stealer.
All right, we got the Magic Stealer. Now here, I was going to say before we do
get into we're coming. That's all that matters, though.
Yeah, and I was going to say before we do start talking about this story in general, because already the panel's coming up, it'll keep cycling through, but I'm not being a dick. I felt like out of the 7 that Don wrote, that this was the weakest of the 7 mini comics that he gave us.
Wait, did you say Don? As in Don Glute?
Yeah, didn't he write these 7 comics?
No,
I thought
Gary Cohn wrote.
Oh, Gary!
Of the Mark Texeris.
Yeah, my fault. Let me take that back. Gary, this was the weakest of all the ones that were wrote, in my opinion. Something felt.
This is unbelievably badass. Like because I'm with Joe on this one. Like the story. Oh, I'm sorry, I pulled a Joe there. I'm going to stop and let you finish your thought. I'm not going to steamroll over you and just keep going here. So, Joe.
No, I mean, like I said, I loved all the other ones, but it seemed like the other ones had a really great story, good build-up, a lot of action. This one, since it's not like introducing man-faces, traps, or anything, I felt personally this was like just for them to sell the fucking Attack Track and Zoar. I felt like that was the only reason it was written, because there was not much to it. And, like this whole thing of Procrustus. Yes, we got Procrustus as a classic figure. Cool. But we get him in a couple panels in this. It's not memorable. There's nothing to think, wow, I'd love to have him as a figure. That's a badass. Like, yes, he holds Eternia together. But it was like, he appears, he's getting drawn to the magic siphon or whatever. He-Man blasts him with the Attack Track to knock him back down. Okay, I'll go back and hopefully it won't bother me too much. It's like
none of that makes any sense. It
doesn't.
All of it. I mean, there's so many things in this that I don't know if we start from the beginning, go forward, or we're pulling at random here. And I got to get Nathan's thought on this too, because I feel like Nathan's probably gonna have a shitload of questions on this one.
It was up to me to pick the mini comic this week, and I'll just walk you guys through the process, because Joe hits me with I want you to pick from these that Mark drew from this set here, or we can do Ultimate Battleground. So I'm flipping through, and I'm also at the same time going through the archive, because I have all the audios for Fans of Power since the beginning. So I'm looking. You guys have covered the Triclops mini comic twice already. You've covered some of the others already. And I'm like, well, let me try to go with one that these guys haven't talked about. I mean, we have Procrustus in there, which I'll get to a couple questions that I wanted to throw your guys' way here in a second. But That's basically where it came from. You guys have covered some of the other books. I'm like, well, let's go this. I'll go this route. We have this character. I have some questions. There's no denying the art in this is fantastic, but
great art.
The dialogue throughout this mini comic is so strangely written. Like, it's so proper. And let me find one of the things. The wizard seems in pain, and I myself feel a sudden weakness, and all about us seems on the verge of collapse. And I'm thinking, like, I get it, but this is a mini comic that is also for kids that probably can't read.
Well,
either.
I think his writings. I think he did. That was his style, and I think that's how it was for all of them. It's just his kind of way of doing those. Yeah.
Well, there is this kind of like, especially like the DC miniseries too. There's this. Who goeth there? You know, speaking that old English dialect. You know, where everyone is. You know, does thoueth eat balls or something like that. You know that's how everyone was talking, and I'm glad that got phased out and talks just more in just straight English, but not of this world kind of thing. Because I didn't have any of these mini comics as a kid, and when I got the DC miniseries, I did not like how they talked at all. And when I had some of these, like, I didn't like how they talked either. Like, if the artwork was undeniably just extraordinary, is what Mark Texeira does. But yeah, I felt the same way. I don't like seeing the wizard. You know, he's magnificent. Like, I get what they were going for, but that's one thing that I wish we could go back and redo. I just, but then again, too, it's better. You know, it's better written than the horse shit you're getting in DC right now. So you know what, I got to be a little bit more lenient with what we got here. So.
Yeah, and they were definitely, at least to me, what I loved about all of them. I mean, this one you didn't get as much, but the others, there was a lot of action and a lot of, it seemed violent, a lot of, with weapons too, of attacking and hitting, something you didn't really see. Well, obviously in the cartoon you get much of, but a lot of what I thought, this is just a theory. Again, not saying this is what it was originally supposed to be, but I wonder if when he was originally doing this, and since it was kind of fantasy barbaric, maybe he was having things where he intended maybe to have blood. The reason I say this is like when you think about the big blue demon, that big monster in the Man-E-Faces one that gets slashed, the Glorm that gets slashed in the other one. They're getting slashed by an axe. Anything else, if you're getting slashed with it, it's going to make blood. So, of course, I know they couldn't show blood, so they showed a white swipe. But I wonder if he intended to originally have them draw blood. But then they said, no, we can't have this. This is for kids. We're going to have to tone that back, remove any blood, maybe things that look like there was really bad wounds. But you do get a good sense of, like, really action, violence in some of these comics that you wouldn't get into the others. I'm not saying there's not action in the others, but this one, the 7, I like the intensity of but this one just missed it. I just really felt like it's just to show Attack Track, Zoar, just a substandard story. I just felt so bad. I mean, here comes a creature, a being that is holding Eternia together, comes up, and with a simple blast of Attack Track, he falls. And I don't know. Something felt flat to me.
That alone, like when I had never heard of this character for the longest time because I never had this mini comic, and to know this four-armed character that's holding the planet together, but he comes out of the planet and is clearly standing up. So if he's
when the planet fall apart,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like that's the myth around the character when really he just is subterranean beast, like of ancient, Eternia. Like, we don't know, and there's just this legend that he's got four arms and he's holding the planet together because that's what people will spin wild yarn about, as how myths and legends are created. That's kind of when I went back to, because it had been a while since I read this one, and just kind of thinking, like, it makes no sense to say that this character is holding the planet together. Like, I just don't buy that. Especially if you're going to have him rise up out, like, deliberately let go of whatever he's holding up, and say, what the hell's going on up here? And then is shot down and like scooted away like you got a broom knocking something off your porch. But the Attack Track blade is like, it's like the writing is not working with the imagery here, or the ideas are not working with the story you're trying to tell.
It was a throwaway character, like, it didn't feel, like you said, it didn't look right. Like, you're thinking if this creature is holding together a planet, he's going to be like 80 times as big as what we've seen. But the thought of what was the point then for him to come out, bust out, He-Man shoot him, he goes down. But for nothing. It's like, what was the point of creating that character? It just felt out of place. It didn't belong.
It's kind of fantastic because those were the questions I was going to ask you guys in regards to Procrustus. Is if there was, do you think it was completely unnecessary to just even have this character in here, or have that kind of?
No, I would have. I still think the character, but he should have been portrayed as something else, as this creature that was risen up by Skeletor to stop He-Man from coming. If that were the case, then we probably could have gotten rid of a few of these panels that are just kind of like we didn't need to see. I feel like there's some stuff we could have done away with, and that this Procrustus is something that Skeletor brought up from the depths of eternity, like an ancient being that had disappeared, buried deep beneath the earth, and just something to stop He-Man.
Yeah. It didn't need to be that character is like holding the planet together at all.
No, and then he's like, I'll try to hold on. It's like something this big, and like I know you want to make He-Man like is the top alpha male in this story, but I just felt like Gary's just kind of like, or not, he's just all over the place here with where things are going here, and I think Procrustus should have either been depicted as a villain or a very heroic being that is subterranean that will rise up on the right occasion when things are really
but have nothing to do with the planet. You're right, have nothing to do with holding the planet together, because think of that, the logic of the only reason Eternia is together is because there's this thing that's down there forever holding it. It's just like, it sounds haunting for what a life, that your life is holding that, but the thought of that's it. That's why Eternia is held together, or it's stable, is because there's this thing that's down there all the time. I feel like if they could have, like you said, wrote it whether with Skeletor had some magic being coming out of a fucking mountain, whatever it might have been, but something to come to try to stop He-Man, not something that's holding the planet together. Like, think about that, Skeletor. If you knew about this thing and then it came out, you're going to destroy the whole fucking planet. It made no sense. The character's purpose to hold the planet was ridiculous, and I think that's what shouldn't even have been in there, was that purpose. Something else, like you said, a creature that Skeletor conjured that was giant, maybe fueled on magic, but to be the thing that holds the planet together, I didn't like it. Never liked it.
No, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Like, you could almost treat this character like Talos from Jason the Argonauts. Like this ancient being
I was actually about to bring that up. That would be a better angle to take. With that.
Oh yeah, because I think something like this really should be a bad guy. Like, I mean, you can clearly depict this character as, much like Talos. If you take something from his lair and the damn statue comes to life and wants to destroy you. Like, this guy alone, like, there's so much potential with it. It's just that one bit of dialogue that people always, because this is all we got. So and that's why I feel like that should be dismissed. This character should be revitalized from the top. Bottom
well,
up.
Then that was going to lead to another question, because I assume that you guys, as I was reading it, I was like, this character seems really pointless. So I'll pose the question to both of you, and you kind of already stated, but what would you do to create a new story to tell the story of Procrustus? Would you even still call him Procrustus? Would you change the name as well?
I could call him that, but I wouldn't. I could keep the name Procrustus, but I would have nothing to do with him holding the planet together. It'd be something as of a different...
I would say change the name, because as Sportimus said, Procrustus sounds like a name for a big dry booger, and I almost kind of agree in a way, like, I don't think that name fits.
I like the name though, like, but I would take it this way, that he has a connection to the Magic Stealer, like it is, like Skeletor intends to bring this giant, much like Colossal awakes. He knows of this being that is buried in the Arctic and wants to summon it, but it will only be brought to life by incredible energy and magic, which this device, like, if you can make it happen, which obviously up to this point no one's been able to successfully do, which would give purpose to this glass pyramid up in the Antarctic of the North Pole of Eternia, which seems kind of like out of nowhere. So that's why I kind of feel like there should be a purpose why Skeletor is going here. It gives Procrustus like a reason that he is this Leviathan, this Titan that was buried, and if you can make it work, he will come and do your bidding. All the, and which would just make it this big epic battle of He-Man having to fight, like all these because it does. I do like the idea that this device like pulls energy and magic, or like that the demon or the spirits coming out of Castle Grayskull. Mark Texeira did an amazing job with the spirits coming out of that. Like to see those kind of things coming all the way up there, channeling this device, almost like from he's in prison, and the elders like put this device there to keep him from ever being brought back. And I don't know if you dig too much into it.
Like that should have been the main purpose. Yeah, that should have been the whole goal to this. Was Skeletor? He wants all the magic to control Eternia, but he knows to do it. He would need this creature, this legendary creature, Procrustus, to help and aid him. He needs his power. So that's why he would, like you said, draw him out of a mountain, wherever it may be. But it's not the planet holder, because that makes no sense. But any other way of yeah, exactly. Just eliminate that stupid thing. But that would be the end goal, because now Procrustus could be this evil-driven, goddamn gigantic monster that He-Man really has to fight and destroy. Not just laser shoot the fucker back in a hole. Makes no sense. Who's kind of supposed to be a good guy just holding the planet, but an evil being. And then we could have had a great climactic battle in this comic that has basically nothing. That's what I mean. It's just there's nothing. There's no moments of, oh my God, I got chills from that. Oh, that was badass. That happened at no point in this mini comic for me.
I mean, I totally agree. And I think that's part of the reason that I picked it, because it's good sometimes because when you guys give me the choice, I'm almost like, well, I kind of want to go against the grain a little bit, because if it's something that we're all going to be, oh, it was really great, then it's kind of boring to me. I kind of like the ones that are meh or just kind of bad, because it gives an opportunity for me to toss out questions to you guys. How would you do this differently? Would you change the character? And
I like that.
Is there like a place in the universe for something that could be that way, that would hold the planet together but not present it in such a way?
I think that could work, and if which I think would make it an interesting, because Skeletor is all about destruction, even if it means destroying the whole planet. That's what an egomaniacal tyrant is about. If I can't have it, none of you will. And I kind of feel like if there's some sort of element deep beneath in the planet's core or something like that, because I think of I used to think of the episode The Search with the Starseed or something like that, which the Procrustus figure came with the Starseed. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like how Granamir, like you approach this ancient being and you want his help or something like that, and like He-Man has to follow Skeletor down to the planet's core somehow, and comes across this being that is I guess keeping a balance in the center of the planet or something like that. And I won't say holding it together like the planet's going to.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. Yeah.
No, but
I don't like that.
Being that has been down there since the beginning of time. I mean, you could come up. I mean, I don't know. But I think
if you did that, the way I kind of visualize it too is it's not like a Granamir, how we see Procrustus here is like an actual sort of form. I see that character being as something that's just like ingrained into the planet itself, that can't really like be mobilized or can move or walk around. I like the idea that
more like Light Hope, because light to me, I don't care figure form. To me, Light Hope is a being of light, an extraordinary being of light that's wise beyond anything we could comprehend. So you could put something like that at the planet core or something if you wanted to go down that route. But I think the visual look of Procrustus, like if it was all Mark or a tag team of Gary and Mark working on that, they came up with an extraordinary character that was completely wasted. And I feel like they need to be given credit for this creation, because it's a beautiful looking. I mean, hell, the Horseman did an amazing job with the classics version. So I feel like
it's a great figure.
We should see it, or him used a lot more in a much more prominent and imposing way. Get rid of that title of holding on the planet and just make him this ancient titan. Much like during the times of pre-Eternia, that he was, maybe a giant from Titus's race that turned bad. The elders, decided to punish him ultimately and bury him in the planet. And over time, he became this legend of this ancient giant that's apparently still locked under the earth and still alive, and got the name Procrustus because he is this giant who is still alive or buried alive essentially, but can only be resurrected by something that, there's no one on this planet that has the power to summon it from there, and that's why they put that glass pyramid there. But there's nobody capable of doing that. Well, here comes Skeletor from another dimension, something not of this planet that could do such a thing. Oh my God, man! Val, why haven't you hired me or told the people at Mattel? I will be more calm and polite towards Mattel. They would harness the power inside here. And us, the three, and damn it, man.
Yeah, Tyler's in a meeting with Mattel execs, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that shit I said about oranges, I didn't mean that."
Yeah, I mean,
come on, babe.
You, man. Like,
come on, babe. I didn't mean that.
I'm like a Russell persona here, people.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, all the art, like I said again, it's fantastic in all 7 of them. But
there's some intense images of He-Man drawn. Like one of my favorites is on page 13, where it's a close up of him with his fist. Holy shit, man! Like that. Why hasn't anybody tried to recreate that in current He-Man comics instead of this lazy, shitty art that that's in, well, damn near everything, because they don't appreciate Axel and Kevin's artwork.
I was gonna say, did you know I made an anti-Eternia Procrustus for a customer a while back? That was kind of cool to work on. Just thought I'd bring that up to you. Made him look slightly eviler. Gave him a crazy little weapon. Just thought I'd bring that to you, buddy.
Well, my balls are just swelled up with anticipation that you'll probably do another one. Maybe I can get my hands on that, and maybe a Fred Flintstone He-Man to put on the shelf with my vintage He-Man.
I wish it's something that could be brought up on the screen for everybody to see, though. I wish there was a way, if I got that image to Nathan somehow through Facebook or something, and if he was able to put that up.
How convenient that my phone just went off in front of me.
Did it? How did that happen? I don't know, because I wouldn't. But I'm telling you, it was a thing of beauty. I had red lava flowing through his body.
I'll do it.
It just.
Link down below. Link down below if you want to hit Joe up for any kind of whatever the fuck you want to make.
I wasn't trying to cheat myself. I wasn't whoring myself out and being cheap.
I guess I need to contribute somehow to get Joe to put up some quality images for me to put on my apparel, because apparently that's the only way I'm going to get his attention now. Because I gotta buy. It takes some Play-Doh and slap it on a vintage buck that's missing its head and everything, and call it Fathead, hero master of jackassery.
Or Play-Doh, and it could be just a guy that could be made out of Play-Doh if I could do it right. I'm telling you,
all right, there we go. If you want to look at Anti-Eternia Procrustus.
Which I'm sure doesn't.
I'm not.
Joe doesn't make shitty customs unless he's given a shitty idea.
I have so many crazy. I'm sorry about that.
What a tagline. That's what Joe should put on the bio for his customs page.
I could do that. Look at that.
Because Joe will do amazing stuff, and then he'll tell me, someone commissioned me to glue someone's head to their ass. Like, oh, it's great, Joe. Like, I almost think, does Joe really want me to tell him it's great, or is he like, look at this shit? Like I just when it's been a long time since Joe has sent me images, and maybe it's because he just doesn't like me anymore or something like that. But when you would send me stuff, were you wanting a genuine opinion, or did you really think like I think Tyler really liked this? Like I guess I should just flat out ask you.
No, there was times when I would just tag people in general. I just tagged them, just let them see. I know that the thing is, I wanted to start just poking you. I love fucking annoying people. And I was like, you know what? I know Tyler hates fucking crossover stuff of weird shit. I was like, maybe he'll get a kick out of this and this. So I have some of the most obscure ones, which there's some that I just love because I know it's such a crazy crossover. I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool. Like when I did, the Ghostbusters, when I did Stay Buffed, I just had a feeling. I was like, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as a buff, and it went viral. Went on the Ghostbuster websites, pages.
I was pissed off. I was like, Joe, you wouldn't believe this bullshit. And Joe's like,
and I'm the bullshit. Yeah, wait, let me tell you that story, because Tyler did say that. He was like, somebody put up the stupid bullshit of, I stay buffed as a He-Man figure. I was like, oh, Tyler, that was me. He's like, oh. But it was popular. I think it's some crazy shit. Oh, man.
When the Daffy Duck on Google, for the stuff that would appeal to me, I'm like, what the hell is this shit? It must be a slow day for Google. And you come to find out, my partner in crime is the one responsible for it, and they picked it up, and I had to see it when I went to Google, and I'm like, oh God.
Did you like my Daffy Duck, or did you like that Daffy Duck? It was Skeletor. You got to admit that was kind of cool.
I don't think I saw that one.
Okay, he looked happy
And I
about that.
love
But
Looney
yeah,
Tunes. But see, look, there is some stuff that like, okay, it's kind of cute, but that's about
All right.
it.
Well,
Most of the stuff
what would
is
that be?
strictly just people think they're so damn funny,
What-
and they're not. And I just wish I could line them all and just smack the living shit out of all of them, one after the other.
What
If I didn't like Joe so much, I'd
what is something that's
it,
cute?
Joe, get in line. You're next.
What's something that's cute? That you think is like almost kind of cute. Now I'm curious.
When I say cute, I mean like adorable. I'm just like, okay, all right, that's kind of cool they did that.
Well, all right. Well,
all right. I'll give you this. All right, one of Joe's that he did do was doing He-Man as like a throwback to Zelda. Like that's fine. Like I get what he's doing there. Like, and because they've done that with Joe. Didn't you do that with Turtles also? Yeah. That's something like I wouldn't put on a T-shirt for myself, but the idea, like, okay, that's cool. Like I got no problem with that. It's a nice. It's not trying to be funny. It's doing you're doing He-Man as an homage to Zelda and vice versa. Like that I can appreciate. Like that I don't find.
What about
that
figure-wise? Really, seriously, if you were to have any kind of like crossovers that you thought would be interesting with He-Man and any property, like things that would come to mind, like, you know what, that's kind of a different figure.
I just don't like the idea of crossing characters over and saying the Hulk is a He-Man character or something like that. I just don't, because the roster is so Is that what you're talking about? Like making another?
Well,
character?
I mean, okay. Well, let's just say, okay, you know how we got all those Savage World figures, and we got a lot of the DC ones, the Mortal Kombat ones, the Thundercat ones, and it was cool seeing them in that kind of He-Man style. So I guess what I'm saying is, think of another property. Is there a property you think that could kind of look cool in a He-Man style body? Maybe something like that, design-wise.
Because I kind of feel like just because the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat figures were done like that, I don't want to see them on the same shelf as He-Man. Like the primal age, DC stuff, they were, He-Man like. So I got, the villains over here with, the castle, because that fits in. So it would.
And the Thundercats, did you get those too? Did you get the Thundercat ones too?
They're on the same.
Okay.
Because to me, Thundercats go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like they are a perfect combination.
What? So I mean, is there like any others you could think of? Like, what if they would have done a Black Star, Brave Star, Silverhawks, or
in terms of that? Yeah, Black Star, Brave Star, Silverhawks is about as far out as I want to get in terms of science fiction, because Silverhawks to me is more like in line with Thundercats, because not only done with the same company and everything, but I just feel like there are, there's just some similarities there. But what's
I'm laughing because Joe's sending me more pictures of his custom stuff that I think he wants me to just put on the screen and whore out for him.
Okay. Well,
one more.
All right, I'm gonna stay on my soapbox here.
Yeah. You do that, and I'll get this on the screen.
Okay.
Just one more whore time. I can be a whore one more time, so that's it. But go ahead, Tyler.
Joe's not a cheap whore either. He's an expensive whore. He's a high-maintenance whore. He's a high-priced Hawaiian whore.
I am pretty much.
But Brave Star, Black Star, Thundercats, definitely. That would be my top three. Like of any other line, I would like. I am all. Of course, I think that's unanimous. I think everybody, even the chat room, would agree that those three lines. Obviously, Brave Star is done by Filmation, but I still think that could work. With the Space Cowboys and science fiction and fantasy combined there too. So I can't really think of too many. Those would be my top three. If you're really going to convince me otherwise, I don't want to see Transformers. Like, people will depict pictures of those guys together, but I just kind of feel like I just don't know if I really need to see. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't get the same kind of magic as you do with like G.I. Joe and Transformers and something.
Well, speaking of Silverhawks, I mean, I heard that Super 7 got the license to them, so there's a possibility we could get some figures in that style.
I hope so that that they can do an Ultimates line, because that's a line that could go on for a long time as well.
I'll buy I'll buy all of those if that.
Oh, happens. I will too. I will buy every member of Monstars Mob, Mumbo Jumbo, Molecular, Melodia, Windhammer, Hardware, Yes Man. I'll buy them all. I'll buy all the Silverhawks. I'll buy Flashback, Condor, Hot Wing, whatever they can throw as. I will buy from Silverhawks, because
my Quicksilver,
that line so
my Quicksilver was hot. Yeah, because when I made Quicksilver, I got orders for a few of him when I made him in classic
Quicksilver
style.
and Yes Man, those are customs that I wish Joe was doing more of. because I that Quicksilver and Yes Man that he did was like, okay, that's some of the best work I've ever seen Joe do. Period. To this day,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think even so, I think your Yes Man was probably the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen you do. Like in terms of because I mean, Yes Man is a brand new, like the body and everything, the head sculpt, everything. It wasn't just grabbing a classic figure and playing off of that. Like no, this was from the ground up. Like it was very impressive.
And then really, that does mean a lot because that was probably the most unique sculpted figure I did ever make. I was like, I never had to do that much stuff, and I appreciate it. So, but no, yeah, that was just a cool
I love to see what Joe could do with Molecular, which is one of my favorite villains from Monstars Mob, and of course, no one knows what he is. Or he's molecules. He's nothing but molecules. People just shit on him and make fun of him, or don't know what the hell he is. Pisses me off.
That game Balls. I don't know if you remember that game Balls. That's
the thing. He's covered in balls. You know, like balls isn't like testicle balls. Like no, he's molecules. He's an infiltrator. He can change into anything, any time. Like no, he's got balls all over him. Balls. You know.
Well, let's move from balls to let's go to our discussion on King Hiss. And I want to hear more from you, Nate, because I'd like to get your impression since we have discussed him before. But we'll move into King Hiss discussion, and after that, get to the chat.
Well, King Hiss is an interesting character because it's one of those things that didn't show up in Filmation. You get a vintage figure, you get a little bit in the mini comics, and then you don't get anything until NYP that really starts to flesh out that character more. And one of the questions that I came up with in my head is, Joe, you may have had all the mini comics and all the toys and everything. Tyler kind of came into it a little bit later, so he's kind of mini comics elude him a little more than it did for you. So my question is, as a kid, what stories are you creating with this character? Because you don't have a cartoon to base anything off of. Are the mini comics?
I was used to that. Well, that's the thing. I was used to that because remember the toys came out before the cartoon. There was plenty of those books, and of course mini comics that helped me create all the stories with all the characters that were never in the cartoon. When you think of like Ninja or Mosquito and Clamp Champ and so many others, you're just making your own stories. But I'll admit, I loved that toy. It was okay, sure, you couldn't get really any movement with the arms and stuff, but damn it, was there something just so freaky about pulling off that shell and having those snakes pop out. I used to just always make it look like he's just freaking people out or just making them, like petrified to death. It was a creepy ass toy. Now, when I look back at it now, yes, I mean, it doesn't have the same impact as some of the newer sculpts and things you see these days, but it still got the job done. It got the point across of what this character is supposed to be. I just like this simple little story, even on the card back. I mean, he looked like he was such a nice guy, and then bam, he turns into that fucking thing. I loved it, and as much as a kid, I was hoping to see him and many more in Filmation. It's like we said before, I'm glad he didn't show up in Filmation. I couldn't even picture how badly and how poorly they would have wrote that character, and all the intimidation and fright that he should have had wouldn't even existed in that cartoon. But yeah, Tyler, I just know that Filmation would have wrecked him.
Yeah, they would have cut his balls off. There you go, back to balls again. His personality would have been neutered greatly because he would have been a season 3 if they had done a season 3, or he would have shown up in the She-Ra cartoon or something like that. Much like how the Rock Warriors showed up in the She-Ra cartoon and Snout Spout, but were He-Man characters, which is probably the route they would have went. And yeah, even though there's some strong, very villainous moments in She-Ra, I just kind of feel like King Hiss would have been, a victim of we were afraid of pissing off parents, so we got to make him as bright as we possibly can. And
snakes probably getting tangled up with each other and stupid crap.
The hands probably would be talking to each other and all kinds of silly bullshit and stuff like that. But
what stories were you creating as a kid? When were you first introduced? When did you get the figure? Because obviously it wasn't like super brand new. So do you have memories of your first interaction having that figure? How would you just integrate it with the stories that you were telling during playtime?
I got them brand new from Hills. I got all 3 of the Snake Men from Hills. Like I just remember picking them all out, and I was just fascinated with this friendly face that was a bad guy. Like that concept of a villain that looked friendly even though he's covered in this obviously evil armor, but the face alone with the smile on there, I was so intrigued by that. And then to see the vicious looking snakes, like the head snake, and you get the snake in the torso here, and then the hands were snakes too. It was unbelievably villainous to me as a child, and so it was. I
love how Bruce Timm drew him in King of the Snake Man.
Yeah,
God damn, was that just
I had no memory
right?
of that mini comic though, and that's the
no.
part is that Snake Attack was the only one, because I owned 2 copies of it as a kid, but that was the one that, and I have no idea because there were so many comics that I got with my figures that got either. It's hard to say what happened to them. I held on to a good portion of them as a kid. My mom put them in storage. But that one in particular, I have no idea what happened to that one. I had no memory of it until I bought King Hiss again for like $20 men on card when I was in middle school. And opened
$20! Oh my God!
This toy store in New Jersey. I mentioned this before years ago on the podcast, but they were selling Clamp Champ, Mosquito, the Horde Trooper, Scarecrow, Ninjor, King Hiss, Rio Blast, I think Rock On, and maybe 1 or 2 others, all for $20 a piece. Oh. And I used to see this ad in magazines all the time, and would think about. And I bought Clamp Champ for $20 when I was in 7th grade. I sent a money order to this toy store in New Jersey, and I got my first Men on Card figure since the 80s of Clamp Champ, and that's how I got the Horde Trooper, Mosquito. I opened them all up, of course, because I was so desperate to see the mini comic. I didn't have internet back then. But I kept all the card backs and everything, like the ones I have on my shelf are the ones that, but yeah, I got them all for $20,
$20? Good.
They were selling, the Silverhawks, like the Heart of Fire, like Windhammer for $20, which cost like $500, or $200 loose. This is just surplus figures that were left over. And, but yeah, King Hiss, I just thought was a phenomenal character. And, it didn't bother me that much that I didn't see him in the cartoon because I only had access to VHS for the most part, and I didn't see Tongue Lasher until I got Gateway to Trouble. When I rented that, I'm like, holy shit, there's Tongue Lasher. And so it was just more or less like portraying how I saw him in Snake Attack, which was the only mini comic I had that he was in, and which was just this guy he's teaming up with Skeletor, and that they were buddies. And that's kind of how I looked at it, the fact that he was summoned out of the depths of Snake Mountain, and they plotted against each other, eluded me for a long time. I just thought like they were like evil villains teaming up, allies, and that's just how I always saw it for many years. And the Tongue Lasher and Rattler were how they portrayed it in Snake Attack too. The Tongue Lasher is the guy runs his mouth, Rattler's a mute. And you don't want to piss off King Hiss or Skeletor. So that's kind of how I always saw that. And, the depiction NYP, overall was pretty good, except for the shitty part too, where they get John Cena'd over and they're not worth anything.
I was going to ask about that because with there being so much of a gap between there, and I remember how excited you were when the Snake Men were coming to NYP, like really, really excited. Joe, you all right? Got the sniffies over there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just hear you. I hear you
because I almost had to get something to drink, but I have nothing to drink, so I'm just starting to get dry mouth, and it's making me sniff.
Joe, go get something to drink.
Yeah, go get something to drink, Joe.
Yeah.
Don't torture yourself on the podcast.
Yeah, no sense in doing that.
So we'll come back to Joe and his thoughts on it. But Tyler, I remember how excited you were about the Snake Men coming into NYP, and you just said that for the most part they did an all right job. What would you have changed and done differently for the character? Was it just King? Was it Snake Men entirely, right? Not just King Hiss, but just like the whole faction that you sort of had that they dropped the ball with?
Well, especially so quickly. Like, I feel like if you're going to have an epic battle where Zodak throws him down into the abyss below Grayskull, that should have been like the last episode of the season. When you're building, they come in, they take over Snake Mountain. Skeletor and his crew are pretty much on the run or out of a home for a while. Instead, like when we see them again, they're going after Evil Lyn. and it's pretty much the focus of the Snake Men throughout, most of season 2, and then building up to the epic battle at Grayskull, where Zodak has to team up and confess he's the one that unleashed the Snake Men. But instead, we get this epic, build up of how they come out, they take out, they turn pretty much all the evil warriors to stone. And Merman falls apart, so I thought he was dead, which was like, that's ballsy to do that.
I thought,
and then they bring them all right back in the second episode, which was like, okay, so everything that you built up with the Snake Man means nothing now. They're no longer this big threat. And I'm trying not to break my momentum as Joe comes in here with his pants off,
knocking everything over.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Damn, knocking. Shit.
I need to get Joe like a stand, something he can properly put his tablet on.
Well, this is what I got. I got this metal piece. I got a Dollar Tree.
That's part of the problem,
pictures.
Joe. That's the problem.
And it's too damn small.
I'm trying. Goddamn, sorry about that.
Everybody take a shot. I might actually excuse myself to go get another drink too. May as well. And then when I come back, then Tyler can go use the bathroom. And which
probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, you know what? We may as well just make this a bit. I'll throw this question out to Joe while Tyler mostly gave his answer before Joe came stomping in and knocked his tablet over with his dick or whatever happened. All right, so
swinging like a. Oh, go ahead.
Well, what I posed to Tyler, and you probably heard him talk about how excited he was for them to be introduced, and the King Hiss and the Snake Men are coming to NYP. And he said that for the most part, those characters were treated well. You go ahead and give your thoughts about what you were thinking leading up to it, how you thought that execution was, and what would you have done differently. I'll go make my drink. When I come back, then Tyler can go use the bathroom. So this can be the thing. We all just take a break during the show.
So our own little intermissions.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. No, knowing that they were finally coming to the cartoon was something that was exciting. Because, again, yes, as a kid, I wanted to see them, but I knew as an adult that it would have been bad back then for Filmation. But knowing we're finally going to have King Hiss and all the other Snake Men that we never seen, I was super excited. And for the most part, I was pleased with the way they're portrayed. Just the thought of knowing I was going to see my favorite character, Snakeface, in the cartoon. I was over the moon. And then to see Squeeze in there, because I love Squeeze as well. But I was wondering, how are they going to do Snakeface? Because the immediate thought was, okay, he's going to look at everybody. He can turn anybody to stone instantly. And then, of course, they found their quick way of writing him out with, the whole damn seeing his own reflection.
Bullshit.
You knew it was going to, yeah, and that's what I hated about it. So it's like, so I was pissed with that aspect. And you're right, all superpowered, making it seem like, nothing can stop them, but things change along the way. I wish things could have been different. I also wish that, if it could have went longer, what could have happened when the Horde came. Because what's weird is, we had the Horde back in the day, no Snake Men. Then we got Snake Men, we got a taste of the Horde and nothing else because we're so pissed. It's something I wish we could have got more of. That's the same thing with, I don't know how things work and in fandoms, and, we're talking about other stuff where I was reading the stuff from PowerCon, but I'd love it. It's like, why couldn't they then have somewhat of a continuation? Whether, let's say it wouldn't be a series on TV, because I'm sure they probably wouldn't do that, or on Netflix, but somehow maybe rate to DVD or Blu-ray, whatever format, give us a couple, maybe three movies or something that could extend and give us the Horde we didn't get by the people that did the NYP cartoon back then, Mike Young Productions. I would love something like that. Is it something that'll probably happen? No, it'll probably never happen, but I wish it could because it could have gave us more. But for the most part, I was pleased with how the Snake Men were portrayed, minus some parts, but otherwise I did enjoy seeing them finally there.
Yeah, I even though Snakeface is clearly like they just didn't know what to do and they just were going to be creative with it. And it was very lazy writing on their part to just write him out like that. And but everybody else, I love Squeeze. Squeeze is my favorite Snake Man, and I loved his portrayal in it. Even the edition where his hands kind of come to life as like snakes themselves, like mouths and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they were an impressive looking when you see the Snake Men all together too. Like they're just such an impressive looking group. The new designs were I even got the Squeeze staction over here, man, on card.
Love
The
that.
one I have on display right now, I don't have any of the others on display. But,
How disappointed were you? Because the same with me was King Hiss in the 2000X figure form. I was like,
oh
that
yeah,
was just.
when those came out, like it was so disheartening because it looked like the rest of the toys, even though they were just a bunch of shitty repaints, and then the three Snake Man were done by an outside. Well, it wasn't the Horseman. We all know.
Did they ever explain why they did that? Did they ever explain why?
I remember there was a lot of questions about it, and I don't know. I never recall seeing. Yeah, because I was reading Q&As all the time about anything I could get my hands on back then. I don't really recall saying the reason why they did it, but I think it was acknowledged that there was another group that did just the Snake Man, and it's at that point, the Horsemen were designing all the variants, and I'm sure Mattel had a lot of say in pushing a lot of the shitty ones out there, but it's probably a financial reason. I don't think if they had designed everybody else in the line. Like Roboto comes in looking like he should, and so does Fisto. So that's why I kind of feel like there must have been a financial reason. Like we got these three villains, give them the two heroes, and we'll just do nothing but a ton of repaints. Because Two Bad has reverse colors, and Cyclone's got I don't know. It just had to come down to.
They were really pushing the Snake Man a lot, and with that logo and the new look for the packaging. And you're right, it felt so rushed. I was so let down because you can only imagine what the Horsemen would have done with a King Hiss in 2000X style. Because remember, the other thing that pissed me off. Now that we're thinking about things that were made and we didn't get. Do you remember when the Staction line was around and we were supposed to get Faker and Cobra Khan in a 2-pack? From the Horsemen, and it never happened.
I do remember that, yeah.
Damn, another what if and letdown. Like, if they're talking about other kind of collector lines, now I know that, PowerCon, that's not what they're talking about, but I wish somehow the Four Horsemen would be able to get back involved to doing some of the stactions we never got. I would have loved it if they could bring it back, because I'm sure molds still exist, or at least the figures do.
I would like
but to
if
get us
just do stactions in general, like if we
can. Yeah, Ninjor and Mosquito. Well, we already got Mosquito, but Ninjor.
Like brand new, like I'd even say like not even 2000X base, but just new stactions in general. I'd start from the very beginning and just do a brand new line of just these, of stactions, like of their I mean, if you really want,
their visions of them are so great. That's what I mean. Could you picture what a Scareglow could have been like? And like we said, a Ninja, a Blast Attack, any of the ones that we didn't get in stactions, because those are, I still say, out of the 2000X designs, the stactions are my favorite. Just like here, just look at that cloth. Look how massive and badass he is. And just look at Tongue Lasher, this big.
Tongue Lasher,
damn.
Web Store back there. I mean, and
yeah.
Grizzlord was phenomenal looking. That's why I just kind of feel like I would love. I mean, because when they released the vintage looking He-Man in the staction form, which looks wonderful, it looks so good. And I of course I didn't get my hands on it, but that just makes me want them to, like the Horsemen, to go back and do a brand new staction line that everyone could have access to, and do a staction line based on the vintage looks. But obviously they would throw in some upgrades and modifications, but it would all be based on the vintage style. Like Jitsu wouldn't have the hand that's like this big, even though that looked amazing, but it would look more like the vintage figure. I just feel like that's why I really wish, I was just thinking about this yesterday, and I'm not retreading what we talked about last week. I just wish there had been something for the adult collectors. Like if Origins was not meant for any of us, if they're really targeting 5-year-olds, why was Super 7 told to stop making something for the adult collector? That's why I just wish there was something out there that, you know what, we could have our cake and eat it too. If you're doing something for the little ones, that's great. But why is it we could not continue with classics or something in the same vein as that's meant for us? That is,
well, I believe
a little bit of a higher price point.
I agree with you, and I think that probably the Masterverse figures that are coming that are going to be, yes, probably mostly based on Kevin Smith's cartoon, obviously, but I think those are the ones that might be probably geared towards this. And you know what? Maybe that could lead to something then, like you said, maybe a different subline for adults, to where it could be based on vintage figures, but with more detail. Because I'll tell you what, everything that's ever came out, especially, I remember when Classics first was announced, the amount of people that said they hated the look, they said they look like the vintage figures, but bigger. And then I remember
wait, hey, but how is that even an issue? Like you're going from one scale to something completely different. Like,
well, here, Nathan, I'll build in the order because this is probably where I should have started. Okay, we had the 2000X line, and then the 2000X line ended. And people were like, God, we wish we could still get something. They announced the Stactions, and they look badass. But, and anybody, I challenge you to say if I'm wrong, because I know I'm not wrong, not being an arrogant asshole, but I'm going to say, when the Stactions were first announced, everybody said, well, that's stupid. Why didn't they just continue the figures? I don't want a statue version of them. Then when they came out and they got them, they're like, holy fuck, these are amazing. And they were in love with the Stactions. Then when the Stactions ended, they said, here comes Classics figures. People said, why can't we continue getting Stactions? Why do I want these figures that look like the vintage line but bigger? That's how it happened. It just kept advancing. But I tell you, it's what Tyler was saying and what we've said a lot. If they would have a Staction line and if they would base something on a vintage, but like you said, with more details, I know people would eat them up. Most people say they don't like playing with their figures. They like to display them. Well, hell, if you got a cool Staction that's in a badass pose, and the Horsemen showed you they can do it.
Yeah, I think why I trust them with everything regarding He-Man. Like, I do not question anything that those guys would.
Not at all.
No, so if we're getting a Staction line based on the vintage figures and it's Blade, the vintage figure in Staction form, here's my money. I'll see it in 6 months. Like, I don't care. Like, I trust those guys with every decision with He-Man. I really do. I was thinking this too. If we can't get a line, like, why can't we get some other things that I think would be a lot of fun and throwbacks to us as adults, is like having a trading card series, like done by, someone like Joe Dusko, or someone who does like beautiful painting artwork of like trading cards for adults, or adult coloring books as like fun throwbacks to the Golden Book coloring books, but meant for us. Like, why can't we get something that all of us can like really be like? I would love to have it in this. I would sit down with colored pencils and color in an adult coloring book based on He-Man and She-Ra. I would love to collect an expensive, single pack of He-Man trading cards with beautiful paintings of like He-Man versus Clawful, like battle cards, just like how Marvel used to do back in the day. I was just looking at the cards the other day that I got on display. Like, why can't we get something like that with He-Man? If we can't, like, imagine getting a bunch of like Earl Norm paintings in trading card form, but it's a single character. You get Ninjor in this nice oil painting. You get Fisto in this oil painting. Then you have battle cards. You got faction cards. You've got epic moment cards. You were like the birth of He-Man, like him transforming for the first time, the birth of She-Ra. Like, there's just so many cool things they could do. If we're not going to get a line that all of us can get behind and support, there's so many other alternatives we could get. I would be all about.
And it shows people love it and would want it, because just for an example of what you're saying, you'd love to see some new artists, because I'd love to see new art as well. Notice what we have been getting. We're getting more cars that have art that already exists to put on there. We got Uno cards that took the vintage art of the box art and other stuff, and they're putting them on Uno cards. They're like, okay, don't get me wrong. I love the art from the past. It's fantastic. And something just would be cool on shirts, but it's like, is that all we have to get? Is that stuff? Yeah. And now let's put on Uno. Let's put on a cup. It's like, can we have new things?
Which makes no sense. Like, I like playing Uno, but to waste that art on Uno cards is insane. Like,
it's a very cheap, like, and look, I know people say, well, if we gave you someone new, you wouldn't like, the new artists. Could you say they suck and you prefer, why can't we get the old stuff? Like, look, I think it's safe to say the community likes to have very edgy artwork. I think they unanimously like Earl Norm's artwork, William George's artwork. That ought to tell you something about what people want in their He-Man artwork. So when you go and hire someone cheap just because they're cheap and they're friends of yours and you're trying to give them a push and you're going to put them in charge of providing artwork for this expansion line or whatever the case may be, like, yeah, we're going to shit on it. Or a lot of people are going to shit on it. Maybe not everybody. But,
Well, the people get it, though, Tyler?
What's that?
Well, I was going to say, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, because I do it a million times, but when we're talking about artists who do get it, like, I'm going to probably butcher his last name, but I like Simon Soltau. He's the one that's done those beautiful oil paintings of Masters of the Universe stuff, and we've seen it in a lot of the pages and places. he gets it and he does that painting style. So that's what I mean. There are people that can do it. So give people like Simon and others that opportunity to create these new amazing pieces that could be, whether it's a great poster, whether it's put into, like you said, trading cards or any other kind of capacity. That's what we should get. That's what we deserve. I would love to see more of that stuff too. And it would be great. Picture, you get the coloring book, has that beautiful piece of painted art, and then inside, artists that do nice line art. And then, of course, we colored in just like we did in the
past. Can you imagine doing a coloring book of Axel's pencils?
That'd be cool.
They're not getting anybody that does it, at least now. They were at one point having people color his work that did his work justice, but now they're not. But to do a coloring book based on his pencils, like I would love, like, not the original stuff here, of course, but to have various illustrations to color just for and then you can detach them from the book and put them in a frame or on your fridge or something like that.
That'd be great.
There's so many fun things that if you're not going to provide something substantial for the adults to have in terms of toys, then we need to have some really good alternatives that I think we could all get invested in. And I just thought trading cards and the coloring books would be a fun throwback for all of us. Like I would be all about collecting an entire line of oil painting cards. If you look at the Marvel Masterpieces that Joe Jusko did for 1992 Marvel Masterpieces, like I think 2018, I think he did another one. Having paintings that look like that in trading card form of He-Man or Alex Ross doing, because he's done some beautiful He-Man artwork. Yeah. So there are possibilities like to do some really fun things. Because I know Mad Duck has hired a lot of guys to do artwork, and some of them are really good, and some of them are absolute dog shit. Like they just took a picture of the figure and just drew that on a poster. Like that's not impressive to me. If they thought it was great, fine, but you're not going to get my money that way. I feel like these guys can look at a character and draw a very dynamic, original, brand new pose, and not make you feel like you're spending $50 on just buying a picture of the damn action figure.
Yeah, I would love definitely new artists to do this stuff, because Mattel should know. Remember, we've always said this a million times, and it's what is a great part of our show is not only the figures, but the art is just as important to this property than the figures are too. I mean, they both just sucked us in. The art is what drew us to the figures, the play sets, everything. It was just amazing. I mean, those coloring book covers. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's what draws me into this as a whole anyway. Like, I've said this a few times already. The artwork catches my eye.
It does.
The reason I like classics so much, and these guys are in the chat now talking about classics figures, and let me find. Chris Paulson said, "I wish I had paid better attention and jumped on the classics line from the beginning." I agree. I was there when Tyler started getting them, and I'm like, those are cool. And every time I would come to his place, I would look at that exact shelf, all those shelves behind him. As he was putting figures on there, I was like, damn, that looks really great. I should probably get in on this line. And I never did. And I waited too long. And you see here where, who was it? Sportimus is paying these, and I'm paying these stupid prices for these things just to get them on the shelf. But the point being, the art and seeing all of those classics right behind Tyler. Like, you can look at that middle shelf right there, right where his shoulders are. I would walk into that room and see that, and I'm like, God damn, those are cool. Those are so fucking cool. Even if you don't know all the characters, like you just look and you're like, what's the deal with this guy? What's the deal with that guy? And you want to learn more about it.
I just look at this here. I look at this impressive two bed. It's my favorite Evil War. I mean, just looking at, the grim look of like these guys will rip you in two. They will rip you a new ass just looking at this guy here. And I'm like, why can't we get artwork that depicts this same level of intensity? Like, I often feel like, why are they afraid to scare people today? Like, why is it people are afraid? I mean,
I don't know if it's
any of these guys who do the guys that I like, and oh God, I'd say his name too because he's done a piece of artwork for me as well. I'm even afraid to say part of the guy's name. Joe knows who he is too because I think Joe's talking. Damn it, Daniel. He's from Italy. Oh God, I've never pronounced his full name, but if he's listening or he knows who I'm talking about.
Daniel Spizzani, Spizzani, I think.
Yes.
I hope I didn't butcher your name, Daniel.
Yes, but he does amazing work also.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Very, very, Alcala throwback, but he can do anybody in that style. You know, I had him do Too Bad in a illustration for me in that style. But he is all about, these guys need to look like they will tear you in two. The heroes need to look like they look like the ultimate alpha males. The women look like beautiful pieces of artwork. Like they're sculpted so beautifully. They are drawn, toned, and beautiful looking. Like the same way you would see in, like, you know, the Frank Frazetta paintings, or the Earl Norm paintings, or Joe Jusko. Look at how those guys depict Conan. Conan is muscular, badass, tearing apart, fighting monsters with beautiful women, you know, stuff like that. And there's, like, when you get that kind of mentality, these guys get it. You know, Kevin, Daniel, Axel, those guys get it. And I'm sure there's some others out there, other artists I've seen over the years. One guy named Shaw. That's the only only name I know him by. He did some beautiful art. It's like, these guys get the level of intensity that these guys should be portrayed in. And that goes for all the merchandise. You know, I would not want to buy coloring books that has substandard pencils in there for me to color. You know, just because they're cheap. It's just, and that's why, look, I get it. Mattel is probably not doing that great financially. You know, they don't have a whole lot of properties to play around with like Hasbro does. And I'm not in the toy industry. I'm just saying, look, I'm a fan of this property. I refuse to settle for anything that is less than what we saw as kids. Errol McCarthy's artwork. There's a reason all these years later, when we're little kids, I mean, I was 3-4 years old when I'm getting those figures. There's a reason why I'm still talking about his artwork all these years later, from being that young. The card art stuck with me all those years because it was intense to see that as a child. Doesn't that mean anything to anybody? That all of us He-Man fans all over this planet, we still remember the card art. That says something about it. Not because it was there, because it was fucking amazing. And the same thing with the Slime Pit box art and all the other things that we got. We still talk it for a reason, because it was quality.
And I don't know if, like you said, I don't know, again, if it is prices or reason, if it's too expensive, but I'll give them one thing. They are on a good right track, meaning when you're looking at the box sets, when you're looking at the Sky Sled Prince Adam, when you look at the Battle Cat box art, they're having that type of painted, which is good. It draws them in. They're finally getting back to putting pieces of card back art on the back. I like that. Even for upcoming waves, they're going to have pieces of card art on the front, like when they showed for Battle Armor Skeletor. The only missed opportunity, the next thing they have to do, you cannot keep butchering, it's not being mean, the mini comics. Make that mean something as well. And then think about the way they promoted the line. I'll give it to them. At Walmart, to have a gigantic stand that has all the figures, and on one side is that beautiful art of Skeletor, the other is He-Man, and but hold on, it is bringing the people there. They're seeing it, so they remember. They're like, oh my God, that's Masters of the Universe. So I'm glad it wasn't just a cheap display where they just said Masters of the Universe and nothing else. They put the art on it, so it made those fans go to it. So they are in the right direction.
But I get that, but also that display legit was at my Walmart for 2 weeks and then it was gone. Like, to me, that's not a lasting impression to me. And I don't.
That's the thing. It's what I want to put out to Mattel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But this is what I want to tell Mattel. I don't know if there's a way to do it, or even Walmart. I wish they would make it to where they say these stands have to stay in the store until all figures are gone. Because again, what I seen, you've seen it for 2 weeks. You know what I seen it at one place for? A day, because somebody emptied off all the figures, threw them down the aisle where nobody could see, and took that beautiful piece that was bringing in the fans. So like I said, Mattel did something right. They had a great way of promoting this line, but
honestly,
when Walmart is just saying, yeah, go ahead and take it.
Honestly, you know what would work better in this regard? Not having an end cap display, but where they're pegged on the wall. They're in the toy.
And in the background.
I'm just saying, like, if you go down the toy aisle, what they should have are things that, like, can give it borders from where it's hanging. So when you're walking down the toy aisle, you see here's like this. Here's Axel's art, just like a miniature version of it that's like beside there. That way, it's something that catches your eye. Because end cap displays, people at Walmart don't give a shit about that. Those workers are like, all right, because the modular system. It's like, okay, we gotta get this out and put this here. Because that's how that works now.
Oh, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. But I was just at least giving Mattel credit, meaning that's the way to promote the line. That beautiful art, it makes people see it and know it and remember it and know it's there. So they keep going along those lines, increasing stuff where it's having better mini comics. And if we were to ever get coloring books again, make it memorable, not a silly thing, because you can look back at every single coloring book probably they made in the 80s for Masters. It's all a beautiful piece of art. I mean, every one of them, R.L. Allen and Fred Carrillo or whoever. I think Fred Carrillo did some as well. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he did some as well. But those are just all memorable pieces. And yes, when you opened up, a lot of time, yes, it was some silly art. Some is amazing art. But yeah, to bring that back would be great. And I'll tell you what, before we do, since we're done with King Hiss and doing this, I want to mention something because it's what Tyler did. When you were talking about all your very good deals on figures, I wanted to say this mini comic we discussed a few weeks ago.
Well,
there's one thing I hate
yeah,
about
that's not a mini.
No, I'm
it's
sorry,
not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
not
I'm
mini,
sorry.
Joe.
Well, maybe
You know my brain don't
is a mini comic.
Maybe against
Well, hey,
Joe's big
don't function. I'm
floppy
sitting there-
dick that comes and knocks everything over when he comes into a room.
Listen,
Yeah, he's got to roll it up
My
like a
brain
water hose.
it goes 100 miles an hour. That's why I was confused with
Dirk
the original
Diggler
writer.
don't have shit on Joe Amato.
Arm bar on Joe's package. There.
Well, like I said, I was crediting the people that were doing the 4 mini comics with the 7 mini comics. My brain just goes a million miles an hour. Okay, the comic that I have here that I hated the most was this page that I never looked at, and I wish I did.
Oh,
It's from
yeah, the one.
Ryan's
Dude, don't look at that, Joe, because it tells you all those prices
No.
when things used to
Well, that's the
weren't
thing.
bad back then.
I never do this. Well, the thing is, I don't know if they would accept a check or a money order because I didn't have no credit
Yeah,
card
just send
back
shit
then.
to them now.
But I
Is
don't-
there a thing like, hey, yeah, I'll pay that price for this bullshit. Yeah,
It's
send
this
it to me.
piece at the bottom. I don't know if it's going to show up, but it's Laser Light Skeletor for $150 carded.
C3 card.
Are
You're
you
a
shitting?
dude.
Look, could you picture that? 150. I just noticed this when we did the review on that the other day. I was looking through. I was like, "What the fuck? How did I never see that?" 150. And you know that thing's what, 2,000, almost 3,000
That-
carded now.
I don't bother looking, man. This is
Ugh.
like it's just
It's
like
disheartening.
looking at a.
It's dude.
Yeah,
I like when I'm at work.
Ugh.
When I'm at work, I and Joe's gonna hate this, but it's how you find them on eBay. I type Motu Classics, and I'm like, all right, what figure do I want? And then as the dogs go crazy, I start typing in a name, and then those results start pouring in, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, Entrapta. Entrapta is a figure that I need, right? You look her up. Carded, she's like fucking $150. There was one that was on bid, and I was looking at it, I'm like, well, I'll try to win it or something, maybe live on the show. But then I started watching the bids just go up, and the shipping's $15. I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But Joe, maybe the next time we do the magazine stuff, because we do the show late on Sundays, we did it at an earlier time. Maybe I'll get that number and call him up and be like, hey, you still got that carded bullshit for $150?
Do it.
I'll take it.
That will be
I'll
fun.
take
I
it.
want to be available for that. Like,
Yeah, well,
no.
yeah, well,
yeah, I gotta see that go down. God.
yeah, you definitely will. Yeah, we'll have to do that all again together. So before we get to the question parts where you guys ask us any questions, this is the part. Ask us anything about mini comics, cartoons, wherever you want. Pop it here in the chat room, and I'll mention one person on Facebook who put out a challenge, and it was for all 3 of us. But I told Nathan, I said, I know Tyler will not want
Why
to.
are you
do this.
even bringing this up? I actually went and looked for it today and couldn't find it. So I'm like, all right.
Well, if I can find somebody that can find these cheap for $6, first I gotta ask Tyler. I know he's gonna say no. It's no problem. Do you like hot stuff at all? Spicy stuff?
No, he's got acid reflux. He'll eat that shit and then it'll destroy him. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's an automatic.
Yeah, that's a health issue for me. So no.
Well, this is up to you. You could say what you want me and Nathan to do. This person challenged all 3 of us to eat the Pocky 1 chip at the beginning of the show. It's a super hot chip. And then see if we can function while doing the show and the podcast. And I was like, well, I know Tyler wouldn't be able to do this,
I'm not
but
going to eat a chip that's got covered in extra demon cum. Hell no, just for the fun of it.
I told you, Joe. I told you.
would you rather that Nathan and I do that on the one when we to discuss a magazine
You guys
or
can do
an
whatever
episode
you
with
want.
you?
I'm saying it's a health issue for me because I got to
Well, no,
chug
no.
a bunch of pills to keep.
No.
my body
He,
safe.
what Joe's asking is, would you be
Would
okay
you want to?
if Joe and I did the
We did.
challenge on the show and we have topics and Joe and I are struggling and you're just sitting there trying to talk? I figured you would.
It's your
I
call.
figured you would absolutely hate it because you're like, well, I want to do this, and you guys are over here. Joe's about to throw up. Nathan can't stop hiccuping. The whole
Well,
time.
that's why we had to pick topics that I don't give a shit about. So that way, if you guys fumble the ball, then I'm like, well, no harm, no foul, because I don't want to talk about this anyway. So,
Okay.
That's when we could do the commentary for the island. That way
actually, you know what? That's a great idea.
Get really bad. I'll just sit here and pick my nails or something like that.
Because it would just be straight up torture for everybody. So that's what we'll do. We'll actually do a commentary for the island, and Joe and I will do. We'll do the one chip challenge and.
I mean, we're doing this next week, though? Coming up?
No, just whenever we obtain the chip.
I can get these.
I'm not ready to start diving right into this bullshit already.
Yeah, we got to still find these chips because they're too much on eBay, so we got to see if we can find them cheap. Because hopefully,
this guy's challenging you to spend a shitload of money to buy food that you're gonna make you uncomfortable.
Well, I'll say this to Joe because I was at Kroger. This was, probably a month ago, right when I moved. And I saw those chips on an end cap. I went in today, and I could not find anything. So I don't know if everyone bought them all.
Oh, shit.
Or what, because that was my plan. I was like, if I could find them, I'll buy it, send one to Joe. We'll do that. But that will be the plan. When Joe and I actually obtain this, that episode will be a commentary on the island. And everyone will be in immense pain. And it will be...
Well, if you're able to find them and you could get them at that cheap price, do it because we will never pay online prices. What happens is, if I'm not mistaken, every year Pocky releases that chip, I think, somewhere in October towards November. And when they're gone from the stores. But then people will try to sell them for 6 times the amount online. So if you could find it for the store price, yeah, we could do it, but otherwise, it would have to be a long time. Unless any of our great fans can find it.
That will be the plan. Whenever those chips are obtained, we'll do the island commentary because that episode is fucking terrible.
Okay, well that will be whenever we get to it.
It's horrible.
Episode. Now we get to our
I want to trademark Nathan's fucking terrible. Like we have that like on the Dan Levitar show, we play that for certain moments where we feel like Nathan, and then he plays the clip. Fucking terrible.
Actually, you know what? I can go in there and just record that, and then find a way to intermittently play it during the show whenever I want.
Yeah, just have just have it when we do the show, because you never know when we might want to use it. Kind of Russell Westbrook's what?
Oh yeah.
Just play it at moments that are appropriate in the show, but just a couple, because I know it'd be kind of hard to inject it immediately. But I think having that, if you could get Russell Westbrook's what, that would be funny.
I mean,
but I
don't know how that would. I don't know if that would in any copyright stuff.
Copyright
stuff.
I don't
know about that,
sure.
But...
Well, all right. Well,
let's get this.
We need to have Nathan's fucking terrible as a sound bit that anytime me and Joe
that could be one.
Can you believe this? And then Nathan plays fucking terrible,
I'll have to finagle away, because the problem with OBS that I noticed is the audio for stuff. When I go to play it, I can't even hear it on here in the audio mixer, but it actually plays for everybody else. I can't comprehend, but I'll try to figure something out.
All right.
Fair enough.
Well, we'll get to our.
We need to add to our show. We need to have little sounds that we could play every so often, or something like that.
Sound bits to be worked. Yeah, those could be cool.
And,
so, Sportimus.
Sorry, Joe. I will cut you off. One thing I did want to kind of address very quickly. It's a menial thing, but and I forgot to change it, but the purple here in the bottom right with the episode number and the thing, I meant to make that a brighter color, and I totally forgot about it. And then when I opened OBS 5 minutes before we started the show, I was like, oh shit, I meant to make that lighter. So it would pop more. So apologies on that.
Was Grimbot giving you
no,
shit
no,
about
no
that?
one was. It was just a thing that's been kind of bugging me. But go
don't
ahead.
worry. I'm calling regular size comics mini comics. I'm confusing 2 different writers on 2 different things, so it's all good. Sportimus has a question. What do you guys think about the 12-inch Mondo Masters of the Universe figures? I mean, like I said, I think they're great. I had somebody, still don't know who it was, who sent me one in the mail. It's an amazing piece. A lot of interchangeable parts. And
why does Joe get all the shit
it.
from people? Send me things. Damn it.
Yeah, send me stuff.
Come on. What the fuck?
You guys can send me food.
All Joe wants is food. I'm like, you can send me these Mondo figures, and Joe's like, can someone send me stale ass chicken in the mail, please?
I'm serious.
Did you get mad? Are you saying I'm poor? Are you saying there's something wrong with me by sending me this toy? Fuck you. Go to hell.
I literally tell you guys, you don't ever have to. I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. I am happy with a Hershey bar, a pack of ramen noodles. I get excited about food, so you can send me the cheapest thing, and I am the happiest about it. So it don't take much to please me. But for whoever sent that, thank you. It's an amazing figure. I can't afford to buy the others, but they are good. I mean, they're really badass when you have it in person, because when you're just seeing pictures thinking, oh, they're kind of cool, but damn, those are expensive. But if you have the money, they really are fucking cool. I don't know if you've seen either in person, but they do look great.
I came close to pulling the trigger on them once or twice. Like I was really like came close to like getting a Faker or a Skeletor, and I just, not because I had the money to do it, but I was just like, I'll just hold on to my money, and it's just one of the things where I didn't want to get a habit where because for me I have to look like weeks ahead to make sure that if I spend this money now, I get a bill coming up in 2 weeks. I got to make sure because I get paid every other week, so it's just. Just one of those things where I'm like, I probably should wait, on it. But I'd like to have them. I don't have to have all of them, but it'd be fun to have at least one.
Yeah. I should have pulled the trigger because I really did like that Scareglow a lot. I probably should have gotten that one, but I didn't, and now it's gone, and the prices are stupid for that. I know all the other ones are readily available or in stock on places like Big Bad and Entertainment Earth and everything. And I've thought about it too, but then there's part of me that looks at certain ones like Skeletor, and I'm just like, something just seems slightly off about this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too. That I kind of felt that way about He-Man. Like overall, it's fine, but there's just something a bit. I don't know. It's just it'd be fun to have at least own one. Like Merman's looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty badass.
I thought the Man at Arms one looked really good too.
Yeah, Man at Arms looked pretty good too. But I a lot of times I'd rather put my money into buying like original art from Kevin or Axel or something.
I mean, with the money that you could spend on one of those, I could get like 1.5 classics figures. So why not?
Priorities.
Yeah, priorities.
All right. I was just going to say for Adam Gabbert, we did answer that a couple weeks ago. He said, how do we clean our figures? I said, we either dust or use the air spray, but we've had that. But thank you for that, Adam. Aaron Anderson is somebody that must roll in the money because he said the Mondos look cool. He said, but they're finicky to handle. Well, like I said, the He-Man I have, it seems like it handles and the interchangeable stuff is great. I'll admit, I love all the different designs, like how they kind of gave it its own unique look. And I'm not a fan of the vintage head on that. It don't look right, but the new head, it fits the aesthetic of that piece. But I have to say the vintage head just doesn't look right. But I still respect what they did for fans who wanted it. Sportimus said, which evil faction is the most to least powerful? So he's saying Skeletors, Horde, or Snake Man. So he's saying from the most powerful to the least powerful. That's an interesting one. I mean, god damn, I was wanting to say the Horde first, then Skeletor, and then Snake Man. It's not being a dick, it's just whatever my opinion is, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Skeletors. Thinking of all the Horde and what they've accomplished, and then the Snake Man. Damn, that's a tough one.
The Horde have the biggest, like their territory goes the farthest. Like they're over. Like they run a lot of Etheria, whereas Skeletor is just fighting for control of any part of Eternia. So in terms of that, like the Horde technically. Because of the Empire.
Yeah, because I didn't know the context of when he's saying powerful. I don't know if he was powerful or like you said, ruling up.
Strictly like just the faction stuff, like aside from like what the Horde Empire has or what Horde has accomplished, like, just the faction itself. I mean, I'm always going to pick Skeletor as number one because him and the Evil Warriors are always my favorite anyway. But the Horde would be number two, and the Snake Man would be number three. And it's not a slight at the Snake Man or anything like that. I just have to look at. The Snake Men don't have a lot of magical powers in them. Like King Hiss does, but that's about it. The Horde's got a wide array of various warriors with various powers. The Snake Men are Snake Men with different abilities, but not in terms of, I just kind of feel like their powers are not as unique as the Horde and the Evil Warriors. They think all of those individuals have got Trapjaw is a walking arsenal. Evelyn is a sorceress. Triclops has got enhanced vision and sword skills.
Yeah, there's such a variety to the evil warriors, and the Horde has a lot as well.
Control, even though Cobra Khan can control snakes, Beastman can control any damn animal on the planet. And
you got to think like power and numbers as well, because Snake Men, when you think about it, like your core characters, definitely a lot less compared to the other two factions too. So
yeah, you could kind of throw like with the Snake Men, you could kind of think, okay, well if they brought them all, they have all the other Snake Warriors, just like Horde troopers. But no, either way, yeah, I'm almost going to go with the order of what he put it up there, where he did say Evil Warriors, Horde, Snake Men. So I do that. And this is the one that's going to have to go to you guys, because I'll admit I don't know any of his other work. Gavin the Nerd said, question, do you like Mark Texeira's other work? For example, he says, I loved his work on Ghost Rider from the 90s. And
Ghost Rider and Punisher was badass, dude. Like, he did some... I was telling Nathan a while back, there was an issue of Punisher I read, which was like the movie Cobra, where Frank's inside a grocery store, and like these 4 or 5 guys come in wearing hockey masks, or one of them does, and start to rob the grocery store while he's just grocery shopping, grabbing essentials. And of course, all hell's going to break loose with the Punisher taking out these guys in a grocery store. And it just made me think of the beginning of Cobra. And his work on Ghost Rider and Punisher is phenomenal. Like it looks different because it's inked differently. Like it's what we see in the mini comics. Like if you hadn't told me, like I hadn't realized that when I was younger that it was the same artist. To look at them both, you would not know it's the same artist because the style looks completely different than what we saw in He-Man.
Yeah.
But beautiful work. Love his stuff.
When it comes to 90s Ghost Rider, my dad was huge into motorcycles, so it was kind of the best of everything, because during that time, we were super into collecting comics. And, I was reading the comics, but as I stated before, artwork is what really draws me into stuff. I don't even have to read dialogue or anything. And I think that's what's sort of great about certain things when it comes to comic books, especially like mini comics or whatever. You don't have to, if you can tell the story with the draw, you don't need any of the dialogue, period. So 90s Ghost Rider was kind of our jam for a little bit, because we would show, and Dad was just constantly attracted to that character. I think that's still one of, if not his favorite comic book character to this day. And Tyler can tell you that, flipping through the comic book collection, there was a lot of Ghost Rider there. There was kind of a lot of everything, but Ghost Rider, like he just sort of got into, and I was just like, oh yeah, he would just go buy that shit for himself. It's like, here you go, check this out, and I'd look at it, I'm like, oh, this looks really awesome. So yeah, fantastic stuff.
That must have been cool to have a little, like you said, to have that connection with your dad. It's something that you guys kind of liked in common.
It really was, because I've told Tyler this before. Whatever, I'll go ahead and open up to you guys about this too. When I was young, man, where do I even start with this? My dad originally had this one Harley. I think he had bought it used, but it was like his first motorcycle, and he never grew up with a lot of money. So when he was able to get this, once he got a better paying job, he had that. He was like really, really super proud of it. And the funny thing was, he worked second shift at the time. So when he would come home, it would be around 11 o'clock at night, and I would stay awake just so I could see him. So he would pull up, and we'd had the garage. It was just like this really shitty cinder block building, but that's where he kept his bike. And he would go in there, and I'd greet him, I'd hug him. And then while he's like getting his helmet off and everything, I would run out the door and lock him in that building. And then my mom would have to come and unlock it and get him out. Well, a couple years later, he got laid off from that job. And the thing I never realized as a kid was, we were having yard sales like all summer, and like he sold that motorcycle. And I couldn't understand it at the time, but we were about to be homeless. So he sold his bike and did all that just so we could like pay rent and keep a roof over our heads. And all the birthdays and Christmases that followed from the time that he got laid off until the time he actually got called back, I never would have known the difference, because it was just like any other birthday or Christmas. Like, they put me ahead of anything, like whatever was going on. And they also made sure that I didn't know anything was going on. And that's just one of those things that just resonates with you. So the whole comic book thing was sort of in that too, because that's like, at the time, you have variant covers. This is when the comic industry was about to just like fall on its face, but they were cheap. And that was like a good source of entertainment. And that's something that it's like, all right, well, here's a comic book. We don't have to go and like buy this figure or something this week. So it's weird that parents do all that kind of stuff. I don't even really know where I'm going with this, but the fact that parents can do that and just not make you think that anything's going on is pretty awesome. And I don't know. I appreciate. I appreciate that they didn't. I look back on that now and I'm just like, holy shit! Like they were probably internally like, oh god, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I never knew anything. Was not wise to any of it. But the comic books was just a good, cheap way to entertain, and he really got into it. Sorry, I kind of like rambled on. Jesus.
No, that was a great story. Yeah. Shows the love of what parents will do for us, to protect us, and like you said, try to make sure we're always safe or happy in anything. And no, that's a hell of a story. Shoot, I think we could just end it with that. I mean,
well, there was a couple things. Hame said LED lighting in your man cave. I'll go ahead and tell you guys this too. I got a new computer desk that's going to be coming. That's going to be like massive. I'm going to get another monitor so I can actually have OBS just on a monitor to itself and everything else on another. And LED lighting is something I am looking into to kind of like put in behind to backlight everything. So yeah, that has been into consideration.
Rich fucker. No, that's pretty cool. I like that. No, that's great.
You talk about how you were almost homeless, and they're just like, yeah, you son of a bitch.
I'm a rich son of a bitch, damn it.
Well, Adam Gabbard said, I'm excited for Joe Amato's birthday. Isn't that today? Am I wrong?
No, it's not today. I wasn't gonna. No, that's the thing. I don't bring up my birthdays. That's why I wish he wasn't putting it there. He already said it's next week. It is next week, but I didn't want to make it a focus of the show or say, "Hey, it's my birthday, guys," because I don't.
We won't, Joe. Moving on.
Good. No, really, I don't want you guys to acknowledge that next week because I like just being calm, relaxed at home, have some good food. I will have a 7-piece from Popeyes because just to let you know that one place, because the one place quit doing it and I thought they were fucking done and I was pissed. I was like, what do you mean? I went to go get that Popeyes. It was last week and they said, we don't do the 7-piece no more. I was like, what you mean, just for now? Or like, no more. I was like, what? I was like, damn, so I just got a classic chicken sandwich. Well, I had to test the theory, went to a different Popeyes. It's about a couple miles further down. They still have it, so I'm excited. They have the 7-piece at Popeyes still.
So now you're going to go back to the other one and be like, hey, you guys are bullshitting me.
Fuckers.
They know exactly. Off his neck and he can go on living now.
So just to be clear, Joe Amato's birthday is the 29th?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
There we go. So next week, Joe Amato birthday celebration. What will we talk about? Who knows?
Yeah, right. No. But I was extremely pissed when I thought they were done with that chicken because I was like, the next alternative is a 12-piece for like $12.99. I told you, I was like, nobody can afford that. So it pissed me off, but at least the other one's got it back. So that's it. I mean, that's ridiculous. $12.99.
Oh wait, there was someone in the chat. I probably should have made note of it that said that they went to Popeyes and got some chicken and said they weren't impressed. Who was that?
Said they weren't?
Yeah, they didn't like it.
Who the fuck was that? We can ban them from the chat. This is bullshit. Who said it? If you're still here, you say that right now. You don't fucking put down Popeyes. It's amazing.
Let's see if I can just search. Oh, it was Jason Havlick. I had Popeyes chicken yesterday and was really disappointed with it. It was not spicy. So there you go.
Well, maybe he got the one that wasn't spicy because they have the 7-piece dark and spicy, then they have the regular 7-piece dark. But I'll admit, even the spicy one isn't spicy. I got to bring home and put my hot sauce on it. But I like hot sauce and honey as for taste. Oh, fuck, we're just going on a stupid tangent. All right, that's it. But yeah, all right.
That's it?
All right, guys.
No more fun questions? Like,
there was no more.
Well, hang on. Joe may have missed something. I'll go ahead and flip through.
I'm disappointed.
Someone,
come on, guys.
Someone shoot us one more quality question.
Yeah, one quality question. No bullshit question.
Yeah.
Like I got to end the episode on a good question.
Yes. And Jason just popped up. He said it wasn't. No, true. It isn't spicy. It tastes better than the regular, but it ain't spicy. I agree, Jason. All right, here we go. Gavin the Nerd said one more question. Have you checked out Three
That's
Jokers?
not a good question.
One of the best.
What?
The Three Jokers. It's one of the best Batman stories he's ever read. I don't know.
I'm sorry. There's only one Joker, and I don't like seeing anything else. So I don't know what that is. But I'm not interested.
What is the? Let me do a Seinfeld. What's the obsession with Joker and like peeling back? Know more about him. Whatever. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't either. Why people feel like they it's so exciting to hear about the mystery like unveiled. It's like you guys clearly don't get it.
Zentron said, "Butt plugs, yes or no?" Son of a bitch.
You got to be more specific. Is it butt plugs for? We're not even gonna get. Holy shit! What are we doing on this show anymore? Jesus Christ!
I'm tired.
Warrior, we're not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this.
Podcast is over. That's it. We end on a butt plug question.
Someone told me to come, and they told me, "Yeah, you don't need to come." And he said, "All right." He said, "You don't need to come." Like, I wanted to come. I'm like, all right.
I'm done. I can't do it no more.
It was magic.
Go check out Ultimate Warrior's Confession on YouTube. They splice together an interview. It's hilarious.
Did you get mad? Like when we brought that up to you years ago, did you get mad? Like about that video, the Warrior's Confession. That because I know Joe watched it, so I'm just curious. Because Joe's offended easily by damn near everything. Did it leave a mental scar on you when you watched the Warrior's Confession video?
I don't like looking and remembering some things. I told you there's some people that if they've done something, said something bad or say some weird shit, I try to ignore it because I try to remember some of these people as who they were in my head. Yeah, it's terrible. I think that's another reason beyond, like I said, not watching trailers for upcoming stuff. I don't like hearing behind the scenes shit. That's
something I would argue with Joe as a friend. Like that is just ridiculous. Like
can't look at trailers.
Hell, when Nathan played that Hulk Hogan Mean Gene porno sound clip, it's just a clip from them doing that workout video. But listen to it.
It sounds like a porno.
Sounds like a porno, and it is funny, but I'm a Hogan fan. Like I didn't take offense to it because like that's what it is, and of course coming from Nathan, it's even funnier.
Come on, Gino. Eyes of Hulk. Oh, Hulk.
Yeah, people. I hope. Is there anyone in the chat room who doesn't know what the Ultimate Warrior Confession is? Is there anybody? Because I got to know this. If you're not going to answer it, give us a quality question. At least tell me that you know what Ultimate Warrior's Confession is.
I'll be honest. I didn't even watch it. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't think I watched it.
Well, we'll send you the link. Sportimus has 2 questions. What are you guys hoping to get for Christmas holiday this year? And what are you guys thankful for? And then with that, I automatically think, I'm thankful I'm not Ricky Rude. Or does he say Rick Rude?
Yeah. I love the throwback to 89 Survivor Series there, yeah. I'm thankful for having the most ravishing body in the He-Man fan community. Oh. Yeah.
Can we just end the stream right now?
No, Well, I mean, I guess we could go and throw up now, I suppose.
I think I'm going to. All right. Well, anyways, I hope for anybody that's new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring the
confession. Joe's trying to steamroll my thunder here.
I don't know what this is.
We know Joe didn't watch
What the hell happened to the?
Is it real?
What happened to the end of this show tonight? Yeah, Joe, it is real. I will send you the link after. You know what? You know what I should? What I should do is just pop it up on the screen now. Windows share it so everyone can watch it all together.
Yeah,
no,
do it. I don't end the podcast. I want Joe to watch it. It's just someone who edited Warriors works together. Is all it is.
Oh, okay. I can watch that.
Hang
I thought you meant it was
here you go. Oh God. Oh, it's so good.
Are we gonna get copyright stricken? They're gonna kick us off.
No, I'm not gonna play it on the show. I'm just gonna send you a link.
Oh,
so
I thought
I'm starting to
reaction to it.
I'm starting to feel like me going and getting that second drink during the show was just a little too much. I'm not gonna say that I'm not over the top or nothing, but I'm starting to feel a little bit. Anyway,
you know what I want? Hey! I just thought of something I want for Christmas. If you fans or people can help me out, there's 3 comics that are in Friday the 13th Part 3 when Shelley's in the mart in that when he's looking at the porn magazine. Mm-hmm. There's 3 comics. There's a Master of Kung Fu, something to say Ghost Joey, and another Master of Kung Fu. If you guys can figure out what fucking issues those are and let me know, I'd like to try to order those things because
Master of Kung Fu is a good comic series, man. You got to read those if you get them.
Yeah, I'd like to get the two that were there. It was two of them. I think they're on the rack, and there was one that said Ghost, Joey. I don't know if there's some old comics that says
I'd
Ghost.
have to go back and look at it.
Yeah. If you guys can figure it out, I'd appreciate that.
I think
And,
the chat's just sort of like going in different directions. And also too, someone had asked what happened to Pixel Dan. Bell's palsy. He has a bout with that had happened. So
oh shit!
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
Thank God he said. I think all the tests came back and he's doing great. So all prayers and well wishes sent in your way, Dan. Because I seen he posted that, and boy, it's just, again, it's a thing you just take for granted everything of everybody. You're always hoping everybody is healthy, and and when you hear something like that out of nowhere, it just makes you, think about things.
And,
so, hope he's well.
And that's weird how that happens too, because it's not like it just bam, it's there. No one knows like what causes it or whatever. It just happens, and that's that.
Yeah. But he did say the test came back positive, and I think everything should be, praying that everything's good.
Yeah, for the most part, a vast majority have a decent, if not full, recovery from an episode. But what you also have to worry about is, like, we're all wrestling fans on this show. Like Jim Ross has had multiple bouts with it. It's something that can reoccur, so it's something to keep an eye out for. And it's harder for Dan too, because he's someone that's like in the public eye. That's what he does for a living. He makes videos on the internet for you guys. So to have something like that can have facial paralysis affect your speech, that is a huge deal. Like with that, and even not, like if you're not on YouTube making videos, that's still a huge deal and a thing that you have to really worry about. So yeah, thoughts go out to Pixel Dan.
Definitely.
Well, Joe, go ahead and do the spiel. No one's coming here to say anything.
Well, if you guys are new to if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Reggie Hammond.
48 hours.
Bingo.
I need to watch that again.
God, it's so good. So good.
Definitely. Yes. See you guys next time.